Quilter. I have a guest with me today, Teresa from Teresa Louise. I quilt too, and I'm going to turn it over to her so she can say hello and talk about her channel and whatever else she wants to talk about, along with telling you guys what she plans on working on tonight. So, hi, Teresa. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, Katie. Thanks for having me today.
I appreciate you coming.
It's always fun to be able to sew with somebody else in the room and visit.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, I have a channel too, Teresa Louise. I quilt too. And yeah, I usually go live on Sundays at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And we just, visit and sew things. Sometimes I teach stuff, and most of the time I just visit. And every now and then I do, every now and then I do some other video, but I haven't done regular videos in a long time.
Are you
Anyway,
starting to,
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Are you starting to feel better?
Yeah, I think I am. I'm getting used to the medicine, I think. And so, sometimes when you start a new medication, it makes you tired or, which it did do for sure. But yeah, I think I'm feeling better.
Well, that's good news. I
Yeah,
was
that is
worried
good news.
about you because I hadn't seen you in a while.
Oh yeah, I felt terrible for a long time.
Yeah, I
But
know that feeling. Sometimes you just give in and you can't do anything about it.
yeah, spent a lot of time on the couch sleeping
That's
because every time I tried to get up, my heart rate would,
oh my gosh. So
go
that's
way
what
up.
affecting it?
Yeah, I,
Oh,
I have SVP or SVT.
is that a
Anyway,
heart thing or something?
yeah, I have where your heart just starts going really fast for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're not doing any exercise or something like that. So I would just be sitting on the couch and all of a sudden my heart rate would go up to like 125,
That's
and
scary.
it would make me feel really dizzy and sick, and I would just
Yeah.
have to lay down. And every time I went to the hospital they couldn't find the problem, so I went to the emergency room like 3 times over it. I had the people from the ambulance up here. And yeah. Anyway, so they put a heart monitor on me. It records, you know, what your heart is doing, and that's when they found out that I have. It's kind of like AFib, but it's ventral
Uh-huh.
instead of the other one, and it's actually not as dangerous as AFib is. So, like, I'm not necessarily going to have a stroke. Like people with AFib are can get a stroke pretty easily.
Do they
So
know the cause of it?
they don't know the cause of it.
Okay.
So
Okay. Because that's the first
right
time I've
now,
heard that one.
yeah, uh, uh, I can't
So
remember. I just know it's SVT. I can't remember the. I can look it up. But anyway, I'm feeling better. So yeah. So I'm going to work on. You said you were going to be working with Tulip Pink today. And so I'm going to work with my Tulip Pink stuff too. And I've been wanting to do some foundation paper piecing. And so I thought I would just do the Tula thing too with you.
yeah. Yeah. Sounds like a plan. You want to show them what you got? I just
Well,
spotlight you so you can share your fabric
oh,
or your whatever it looks like. Because I'm
well,
not sure what line you're using or anything.
this
Oh,
is
you have
part of my,
a lot of tulip pink.
yeah,
Wow.
this is
Oh
my
my
Tula
goodness.
stash. She gives,
Wow.
yeah.
Lucky you.
So
Look at you.
a lot
That's
of it came from the Sew Sampler box.
yeah, I've been seeing a lot of it showing up over the last few months in their um boxes.
Like they
Sometimes I'm
used, you used to get Tulip Pink like once or twice a year in their
Yep.
boxes. And
Yep.
I've been getting the Sew Sampler for like, I don't know, 4 years, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever I find a kit or something on sale, I'll buy that. And I haven't actually bought any Tulip Pink in a long time, at least a year,
Yeah.
maybe more. So a lot of this is the older fabrics. So I'm just going to go through it and pick out what I want.
Okay.
I'm not I'm not going to use any of the prints that have big pictures on it.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be low scale prints. And that's kind of my plan. And then
Okay.
I got a bunch of foundation paper piecing packets over here. So I'm just going to look through those and figure out which one I want to do.
That sounds like fun. Improv style.
Yeah, you know me.
Yep.
That's how I do
Oh,
it.
yep. All right. So what I'm going to be working on, I'm working on Tulip Pink too. And I have let's see if I can put this in front of this. I'm doing the Fat Quarter Shop's Dragon Fruit Block of the Month. And I'm making this for my granddaughter who doesn't know I'm making it for her yet, unless someone tells her, like her mom. So that's what I'm working on. So I'm working on month one, and I'm making the courthouse stairs, but I originally thought I was making 20 courthouse stairs ones, but turns out I'm making 16 of those and then four of the what did they call that? Square in a, or either the economy square or the square in a square. No, let me look. It looks like it's the economy square. So that's what I'll be working on tonight and see how many I can get. I have some hung up over there. I've already started. That's up on that design board with that other quilt I've been pre-designing in my head and sewing it as I make it up. But yep, that's what I'm doing. Okay. I just want to mention a couple things to you guys. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be sewing on Sean's channel. We will be continuing on with working the um, courthouse stairs again for the Star Climber. We're going to wait till April to introduce the woven star because he's still trying to figure out how to do it without paper piecing. And I'm going to do it using paper piecing because that's the way the pattern was written. So that's tomorrow at 8 p.m. at Sean's channel. And then in April, it'll be back on my channel because we're rotating every other month with this collaboration. And then Wednesday, the 5th, will be the premiere of my podcast interview with Sherry. So try to be there for that. That will be at 7:30 or 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then I'll let you know what I'm doing for the rest of the week after that. It'll just be repeat because I'm doing every other week. I'm doing the same thing that whole week. Like next week, it'll be Scrappy block creation on Thursday. Friday will be the 1,000 block tutorial with a new block. And then Saturday will be Magnolia with Jess. And then, yeah, so that's what we're doing. So enough of housekeeping and let's get on with it. And don't forget to read the poll up there. Let me read it to you guys. I put a poll up because you're going to see polls tonight again. This one is, what is the standard seam allowance for quilts? Is it A, ½ inch, B, 1/8 of an inch, C, 1/4 of an inch, or D, 1 inch? Y'all place your votes, and then about 15 minutes into this, 15 or 20 minutes from now, I will show you the stats and then tell you the answer. And then we're going to start another poll. So let me say hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, Mary G. Welcome. Hello, Terry. It's nice to see you. And I'm glad you finally caught one of my lives. And hopefully there'll be more drifting in over time. So we're just going to start sewing. If you have any questions you want to ask either me or Teresa, let me know. And we will do what we can to help answer those questions. What are all of y'all working on?
Okay, here's the papers I have. I have pineapple quilt block foundation papers.
Okay.
And they're pretty big.
Yeah, they
So
are.
that
You know,
might,
you might could that square and the square there in the middle of it. You could probably use some of those bigger pieces you were talking about not wanting to use.
yeah,
Yeah, put what one of the animal ones in there or something.
right. That's what I was just thinking. That might be the one to do.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, I don't think I want to use these. I have
yeah,
flying geese,
flying
flying
geese.
geese. And then I have snail trail.
Well, that looks like that would be fun as a Tulip Peak project too.
Yeah. And then I have vintage kite.
Fun, fun. That would look good as a Tulip Pink too.
Yeah, I got all of these from the
Yeah,
Sew Sampler box.
it's funny.
Then
I think I have. I think I might even have that pineapple one too. Come to think of it.
I have this woven star.
Yeah, that's what we're working on for the Star Climber.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the star that's a 6 inch, right?
no, this one is a 4 inch.
Okay, because I have the 4 inch, because that's the one I'm doing is the 4 inch for the Star Climber, and then the courthouse stairs is 4 inch for the Star Climber too.
And then I have more of the vintage kite. I,
Awesome.
I think I'll do the pineapple.
I think that'll be fun, and you
Yeah,
you can just get creative with it.
exactly.
Terry says she's working on last blocks of Legit Kit Deep Sea Diving Turtle. Oh,
Oh,
I bet
nice,
that's gonna be
Terry.
pretty. And then Tiny Talkie Tina, hi there, welcome to my channel. She says I am making an Easter table runner. You guys, when you get your projects, even if you don't finish your projects, go over and post them on the Greenland Quilter Facebook group or on Teresa's. Teresa, you have one too, don't you?
Yeah, I have a Facebook group. Yep.
Um, yeah, if you want to share the link for your Facebook group, you're welcome
Yeah.
to. You're a mod, so you can do that.
Okay.
All right. Did I say this block? So I'm
Hi,
going to get,
Tina. I used to have a friend in high school. Her name was Tina, and we called her Tiny Tina too. That's funny.
brings back memories, huh?
Yeah, it brings back memories. Because she
So
was so tiny.
it's interesting how tiny people are when they're in high school.
Yeah. I think you
Oh,
still have me on big screen.
oh yeah. Let me turn that spotlight off. Sorry.
That's okay. All right. So now I have to remember how to do foundation paper piece.
It's like a bicycle, I think. I've gone months without doing it, and I have not done an extraordinary amount of them. But it's interesting that I can still remember how to do them.
Yeah,
Where
well,
is
the last time I did it was while I was working on my tiger, which I never did finish. And so that has been what, like 7, 8 months ago?
yeah.
But I think I can figure it out. So I just want to make sure that I have the right needle in there because I like to use a smaller needle.
Mm-hmm. One thing I really need to take the time to change my rotary blades. Just about all my rotary cutters are dull now.
Oh yeah, you need a good rotary.
Yeah, I just try to stretch them as far as I can because I it's not like I can go walking in a store here and buy them. And I got smart and started ordering like 20 of them at a time from Amazon. And there's this one company, the rotary blades from them are exceptional. I mean, they're not even they're not a name brand of any kind, but I never heard of the company anyway, but these blades last way longer than the Olfa blades or the other blades you see that you buy from the quilting shops.
Mm.
And the other thing is Hobby Lobby. I bought a rotary cutter from Hobby Lobby. And it's the name brand through Hobby Lobby is what is it's Sewology Quilting. So this is what the rotary cutter looks like. But their blades, I bought a 10-pack from them, and because they were pretty moderately priced, their blades last forever. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Can you link up for the blades? Yeah, hang on. Let me get my little blade box out.
Hi, Denise.
But when I went online for the ones sold by Hobby Lobby, apparently they no longer sell the rotary cutter or the rotary blades. And the rotary blades came in a container like this. And then on the inside, each blade was sitting on one of these. I don't
Oh,
know if you see, it's just a plastic ring. And
yeah.
so instead of you reaching in and having to pull all the blades out to separate
Oh,
one blade, they were automatically, and this container held 10 of these blades with these little plastic rings. So but when I was using the blades last, I bought these blades back in 2018 and I just ran out of them, I don't know, a couple months ago because I used those and then the other one that I was just talking about that I have plenty of still, but I'm going to order some more. But they're called Somo,
yeah. Huh.
and these are sold on Amazon, and you can buy them in packs of 10 or packs of 20. And a pack of 10 costs you $10. A pack of 20 is $20. There's nowhere in any quilt shop you're going to get 20 blades for 20 bucks. Nowhere. And
Yeah,
these blades last forever, seems like to me. I mean, I wait until they start not cutting, start missing fabric, before I really start disposing of them.
right.
So I'll show you how quickly I go through blades. I have this little I don't know if you can see it or not, but can you see the blades in that container?
Yeah.
That's 2 years of blades. So
Oh, wow.
I'm not excessive about it. I try to
No,
use them until the bloody last minute because I can't just go. So every time, so because I can't just go out and buy them whenever I feel like it. And
right.
now I'm going to order some through Amazon soon, the ones I just was showing you, because my friend is sending me a box from Syracuse. And so I've been buying things for the last couple of months that can't be shipped here. And she's packing it all in a big box and she's going to send it to me. So I went on to Amazon to make sure that they were still selling this particular blade. And they are. And they're 20 bucks for 20 of them. I mean, that's just $1 a piece. That's
Right.
better than buying two for 15 bucks. I
Right.
mean, I really don't see how you could go wrong.
Is your rotary cutter? Oh, okay. Never mind. You just closed it.
He just, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you a heart attack, Denise.
I
Anyway,
did.
I'll put whoever was asking about the link, can you put a link on? Hang on a minute. You talk to him while I go look for it. Because I don't know if you, hang on a minute. Because I think I put it on my wish list. I did put it on my wish list because I have a wish list just in case someone wants to order something, they can. And then they can just send it to Syracuse and Melanie will send it to me. Okay,
So
let me click on this.
does Amazon mail to you?
Not these blades. The only thing that I can actually order from Amazon that will ship here is books and videos. That's it.
Oh,
Anything else, you can forget it. I don't know why. Maybe because Greenland's not part of the European Union. It could be that. I mean, I don't know why. I just know that I can't. Here's the link for these blades. All right. But if you go on Amazon, you can just put in their rotary blades and you'll be surprised the amount of blades they sell. And if you look at the prices of them, a lot of them are moderately priced and they have good blades. So here's the link. All right.
Book shipping rates and media shipping rates are cheaper than regular rates, so that might be why.
That could be it. Yeah. So I was using myusa.com for doing, they're like the middleman between Amazon and yeah, they ship overseas is what I'm saying. The problem is I could pay that yearly fee, which saves you on shipping costs. But if I'm not shipping enough, it's not worth it. And so
Right.
I haven't shipped anything hardly since the pandemic. Right before the pandemic, I was sending box after box of stuff here because the US dollar was down and not so high, put it that way. And, I was able to afford things, but inflation is so bad right now. I've had to just really, really skimp and not buy unless I need it, you know? Like I can't buy Benadryl over here, so I have someone send me Benadryl because Benadryl is the only thing that helps keep my allergies under control, it seems like.
Gosh, can you
Hey,
hear
Deb.
Willa? Huh?
Hey, Deb. Deb says hi to you too, Teresa.
Oh.
What were you going to say?
Can you hear Willa, my dog, chewing on that bone?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've got my Zoom set to a certain setting. So if there is background noises, because I don't feel like anybody should apologize because their dog is yipping in the background. So I set it so that it won't aggravate viewers, but nobody complains about Nora doing it. She does it at a certain time, right during a live. She'll come in here and start. She's got. It's like I need to tell everybody I'm here.
Yeah,
Right now, she's under my desk sleeping.
she's going to town on that dog bone.
I'm surprised Nikolaj didn't fix up her ball. We have this ball that you can put treats in, and she has to roll that ball around with her nose, and it has to roll a certain way to release a treat. And I've noticed that she'll spend like an hour rolling it around and she'll get like part of the treats out. And then she'll come in here and go to sleep and then sleep maybe an hour. And then she'll go find that ball again and she'll try it again. So it's stimulating her brain enough to make her want to chill out for a bit. Because that's all she thinks about is food. How are you doing, Deb Till? Nice to see you. And what are you working on today? My husband's gaming. He downloaded a new game and he wants to test run it.
Oh,
He's the gamer of the house.
yeah.
Only game I play is solitaire and sometimes word games. I used to play this game called um Bookworm, but they no longer have Bookworm anymore. And I loved playing that, and I got pretty high in the level. Hello, Rita. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Jody. Guess what, Jody? Guess who didn't guess who didn't fly out today? y'all can type the word exclamation selfie. Oops. To share your channel, and I'm going to share Teresa's channel.
Oh, thanks, Katie.
Teresa Louise.
Okay.
Hey, Debbie's Quilting Studio. Anyway, type exclamation selfie to share your channel. But he's home, Jody. He didn't get on the airplane today because we're in the middle of it started out today about 5:30 this morning. We heard the wind pick up, and then when you looked out the door, there was a blizzard going on. And then now the clouds are dissipating, but the wind event is still going on. Hey, Tony. Yeah, hey, Tina. Oh, I already said hi, didn't I? Okay. All right. What's next here? 7 and
Okay, I think I'm ready.
And I'll be cooking tonight.
yeah, guess what you're cooking? Or tell them what you're cooking.
Pakark!
Yeah. No, you got the pork. Did the pork fall out?
Check. Yep. Almost
Uh-oh, I sewed one of them on before I should have. Oh, no. Now I got to take it off, and then I can put it back on after the fact. Or maybe not. I might have to recut it. Where's my seam ripper? I sewed one of these on too soon. Oops. He's going to make his yummy soup. So we're having chicken with pork tenderloin in the soup. And he puts both in there, but he don't cook. He cooks one first and takes that out. This chicken, because you have to cook the chicken longer. And then he'll put the pork in while he's deboning the chicken. And we've been saving the bones up because I'm going to make more bone broth here soon. And then he'll cut that pork tenderloin and put it in there. And then he puts pasta and rice and haricot, corn, a little bit of corn in it. And then he lets it all marry itself, and it's the best tasting soup. And I've not been much of a soup person, but I really enjoy his soup. Okay, let's do this the right way now. I'm gonna have to cut a new piece. Nice, he can stay home a bit longer. Yeah, he should be here until he's thinking that he might have to fly Monday unless the weather still stays bad. But that got him home for 2 more days because this was a short time of him being home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goes on next. So in this book, on each of these blocks, like right now I'm working on the apple block. It has like a oh, I need to cover something up. Hold on, I'm gonna show you what it looks like on how it tells you what to use. But I can't show you the measurements. So I'm gonna cover it up. Okay, so what it does is it tells you the fabric colors we're using for the guava is these 3 colors right here. And then it tells you how many to cut of each thing. And then over here, it gives you numbers. And these numbers tell you where on the paper piecing block that you use them at. And that's how you know where you're going to put each piece at. Okay. I mentioned ball, and she goes and finds her ball, and now she's rolling it around to get treats out of it. Hey, Linda, welcome, welcome. Hey, Jean E, welcome, welcome. Anyone else come in that I didn't say hi to? If I haven't said hi.
Jody. Hi, Jody.
Yeah, I already said hi to Jody.
Oh, okay. Hi, Jean. Hi, Linda.
All right, number 4 is on. Now we're looking for number 5. Number 5 is going to be the dark green. No, no, it's not. The 1.5 by 2 3/4 is number 5. I have to cut another piece of fabric, I think.
Well, hi, Ian.
Hi,
Hi,
Ian. Welcome.
Hi, Kathleen.
Okay, so we're going to sew this. So we're putting this next color on, which is number 5. And I'm going to sew it onto the side that says 5 here. And right here, you'll on this is the front side and it has numbers on it. But what I always do is I like to mark the back of the paper and put the numbers on it so I don't end up putting something in the wrong place. So we're
Oh,
putting
that's
number,
right.
yeah. So I'm putting on number 5 because I'm easily confused kind of person. And I'm going to sew it face to face. How
So the
you doing?
fabric goes on the back side and you sew
Yep.
on the front side.
Yep. Exactly what she said.
Okay. That makes it hard to line up this middle piece.
Yeah, you know what I do is I fold this paper. I fold it first and then I wait, we're on the back side. You see how there's
Oh,
markers on this paper. I take just a lead pencil and after I folded the paper where the line is at,
yeah.
then I take that pencil and mark that line so I can see it. Because my eyes, because what's wrong with my eyes, I can't see that fold on that white. So that's why I mark it. So then when I'm laying out the fabric on here, I make sure that I can, and because I hold it up, you can actually see the shadow here. I don't know if you can see the shadow or not.
Yeah.
See that shadow?
Yeah.
Then I know by that shadow where to line that up. And I know that's an extra step, and some people don't want to take that extra step, but I do it because of the fact that my eyesight is the way it is. How
Yeah.
you doing, Ian? And hi, Kathleen. It's been a while. I hope you're doing good. She says, I'm cross-stitching instead, still using a needle, though. Is there any other way to do a cross-stitch without a needle?
I don't know. Not that I know of.
Yeah. I mean, I've never cross-stitched. I don't know, you know. But I'm learning how to hand quilt. And I think I caught the bug because I really like it. So I've been practicing on there's a quilter, her name is Sherry. And Sherry and I are doing a collaboration together for teaching hand quilting. She's teaching that. And
Mhm.
so our homework assignment was to practice the stitch on the piece of fabric that we made into a sandwich. And then the next go around, we're going to actually probably start sewing on the block that we're supposed to make.
Hmm.
Okay, now I got this on the right spot, but I'm still going to have to come back and cut another piece of fabric since I used the wrong one.
Linda says that she made that quilt that I designed, the friendship
Mm-hmm.
quilt.
That's awesome.
She made one. I would love to see it, Linda, if you haven't posted it on Facebook or something. If you don't do Facebook, you can send me an email. I would love to see it.
Terry says, I use a light box piecing that really helps. I don't have access to a light box. So this is how I improvise.
Yeah, I don't either. I've been thinking about getting one, but the ones that I would like are really expensive.
Yeah, they're not cheap, that's for
I think it's
sure.
called a gator or something like that.
Yeah. 2 3/4. Yeah, just take all the skin off. Because otherwise you're going to be dipping fat out of that water.
Oh, Kathleen says she means I'm still doing something that uses a needle.
Oh,
Gotcha.
gotcha. All right. That went right over my head, didn't it?
Okay, now.
Deb, I want to go live for a little bit. Got to keep active in the algorithm. Sadly, it just won't be a long one. Is that tomorrow, Ian?
Let's see.
Are you sick? What's happening?
I think he's tired from going to the quilt con. He's pooped.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe there was
I
something
don't
else.
know. He might be sick too.
I heard some people got sick from QuiltCon this go around.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Something about COVID or something. I don't know if that's true or not, but someone mentioned it. And then Nikolaj was just telling me that his cousin in Nuke has COVID. The maybe, possibly the new strain of COVID. I'm like,
Oh
oh,
no.
great. Now it's back in Greenland again. That's not cool. Fortunate for me, I have been vaccinated for it. They finally got new vaccines in for the new strains, and they called me and said, "Come get your vaccine." And I did too. And this one didn't make me sick. I was smart this go around because I got both the flu shot and uh the COVID one. And last time when they told me to come do it, they put both of them in my arm, and oh my God, it made me so sick. Um, it scared Nikolaj enough that we thought we were going to have to go to the emergency room because I was so sick. So this time I asked him, I said, can I do one this week? Because they were doing 2 weeks of vaccinations. And so I said, can I do the COVID first? And then next week come back and do the flu. And they're like, sure you can. And you know what? I didn't even get sick. I was a little achy, but that was it. There was no drastic illness.
I've known
I think
people
there's
who got those shots and they still catch it. But
Well, I haven't had COVID as far we haven't had COVID as far as we know.
yeah, I personally didn't get the shots and I don't do the flu shot because I'm allergic to eggs
You
and
know,
most of those flu shots are,
yep.
you know,
I do them. I do them because I'm prone to pneumonia, and getting the flu shot prevents me from ending up in the hospital dying. So
yeah. Well,
it
every
doesn't
time,
stop me. It doesn't stop me from catching the flu. It just prevents me from ending up in the hospital with it.
yeah.
But I know about a lot of people are out because they do ask us, "Do you have egg allergy?" Because if you do, they can't give it.
Yeah, I'm allergic to eggs.
That has to be hard for you not being able to eat anything that has eggs in it.
Well, my allergy isn't really, really bad. Like I don't eat a boiled egg or fried egg or anything like that. That'll make me sick. But if it's in a cake or brownies,
Uh-huh.
that it doesn't seem to bother me.
That's interesting.
So it's got to be diluted, I guess. But they
Maybe
just make me achy. Like, I have fibromyalgia, so I
hmm
don't know if they just make me really achy uh, and tired.
when I
Oh,
the when I started getting pneumonia, see, I never had flu shots ever. Even though my asthma is so bad, I never thought to get one. And then on my second hospitalization with pneumonia, the second go around was like less than a year apart. The doctor he says, do you get flu shots? No. Why not? I'm like, I've never given it any thought. He says, well, your asthma is severe enough to warrant you having it. And he also suggested that I start getting the pneumonia vaccine. And the interesting thing is, once I started getting that pneumonia vaccine, my chances of pneumonia, I would, if I got the flu, they would be able to catch the illness in my lungs soon enough to prevent me from getting hospitalized. And so when they started giving me the vaccine, I stopped getting pneumonia every year. It was like every 3 years I would catch pneumonia. It was interesting how it worked. But here they don't give pneumonia vaccine. So I'm exposed again.
I just don't get vaccines. They they always make me sick, and
Well, if they make me sick, then I can understand that. Yep. I wouldn't either if they made me sick.
yeah.
I mean, bad sick.
And knock on wood, I haven't had COVID, and I haven't had any of the vaccines on that at all.
Oh, so you're another one that said hasn't had COVID. That is so cool. Yeah, babe.
I just am really careful, you know. I don't wear a face mask everywhere anymore. I used to, you know, I just kind of keep track of what's going on. I hear because they post it, like if there's been an outbreak in my local area, then I just avoid either going to town for a while, or I will wear a face mask. Like if I had to go to the doctor or something like that, I
You
would
know,
wear a face mask.
yeah,
And
that's great idea.
I
You know,
usually have some sort of hand sanitizer, Clorox wipes. You
mm-hmm.
know, I carry those around with me in the grocery store. I wipe down my cart before I touch it. You know, I'm just overly paranoid of germs, I guess. So I just try to be really careful in that respect. You know,
Yep. My first mother-in-law, she was from Japan, and anytime that she was sick and they knew that they were going to stop by my house, or she would have to go to the doctor or whatever, she always wore a face mask when she was sick. And then they would, come by for whatever reason, and she would have her face mask off and not. And one time I asked her, I said, "Why do you have a face mask on?" She says, "Because I've been sick and I don't want to expose you and your family to what I've had." I'm like, wow. And she did that because it's a Japanese thing. And you probably notice sometimes when you see Japan on the news, or you know, you'll see them wearing masks when they're walking down the sidewalk.
Denise got a warning from the Nightbot, and she's wondering what it was in her comment that made her get the warning. So,
Uh-oh, that shouldn't have
um,
happened because I had most of that stuff turned off. Let me go look real quick, okay? Let me see what's going on, and then I'll turn it off, whatever it was, because I have most of those settings turned off so it's not being persnickety. Let me see here.
it might have been because you said something about a shot, and might be a YouTube,
Ah,
might be the
it
YouTube
did.
thing.
It must have been about the SHOT part. That's interesting. So how do I turn that setting off?
I don't know.
I turned a lot of other settings off. Let me go look at the uh where was that I turned all that stuff off? So I turned a bunch of things off so it wouldn't be so persnickety with people.
Oh yeah, it said that she posted a link, but I don't see where she posted a link or tried to post a link.
Now, wait, it had a link in it? I didn't see a link. Let me go back and look
I
at that
didn't
again.
I didn't see a link either, but
Go back to the logs. Yeah, I don't see that she was posting the link. The only thing I see is no, the shot doesn't help you from getting it. It's supposed to lessen the severity of the C if you get it, but good hygiene, such as washing hands when you've been out shopping and dining. Yep. But I do not, but it looks like the sentence is incomplete. So must have not even showed the link she shared. Wow.
Oh,
That's
it
interesting.
did. Oh, yeah, it didn't. Yeah, it just.
It must have deleted that
Oh,
part of
I
it,
know
which,
what it was.
go
Uh,
ahead.
I don't know if she did. Anyway, because she was already timed out, it didn't show her next comment, I think is what it was.
Okay.
Which,
All right.
which had something to do with shot because Deb said something about a shot and she didn't get timed out. So,
So it must have been the link.
yeah.
Oh, here's time. Okay. All right.
Nightbot deleted it right away, she said.
Okay. And she's not a moderator, so that's probably why it did it.
Yeah. Only moderators can post links. So that's probably what happened.
Deb Till says it's saying you posted the link. Yep. Uh, if I made you a moderator, then you could post it. So if Denise says no, don't turn your Nightbot off. Don't turn off your Nightbot. I didn't post the link. That comment is complete as you see it. Okay. All right, because I can always reset some of the settings so you're not getting nailed so fast. It hasn't nailed anyone in a really long time, actually.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand the way it was being picky about using too many exclamation marks, or you use capital letters in part of a sentence and it would shut you down, or some of the stuff it was shutting people down for was ridiculous. I'm like, nope, we're turning this off. Because you should be able to say things and not worry about getting your comment deleted because of something you said, and then being timed out and have to sit for 5 minutes waiting to say something. Sorry about that, Deb. As soon as it posted, Nightbot deleted it. Yeah. I will go back through my settings again and have a peek and see what it was that might have triggered it. It was probably that word, but then Teresa said that Deb said it.
Well, Deb said she said it.
Okay. All right. Let's get this part sewn on. Yeah, I try not to limit people's speech.
Oh, maybe it didn't like the capitalization of the 3 letter
It could
of
have
the
been.
alphabet. Oh, that could be. That could
Yeah, it
be.
could have been that, and it might be another setting that I've missed. I'll have a look at it and I'll fix it, whatever it was. After the live, I'll go and look at my settings and see if there's something I missed. Because I really don't want it censoring you when it comes to stuff like that, because there's nothing wrong with it. Woo! I bet you heard that, didn't you? Man, I have to get up early tomorrow.
You do?
Yeah, I'm gonna be on Sean's channel tomorrow morning because it's his go
Oh,
around.
oh my
It's one,
gosh.
yep, it's one Sunday a month, so it'll be 8 a.m. his time, which he loves. But I'll have to get up about 9:30 to get ready, and because I sleep so terrible at night, especially now that we have a wind event going on again. The wind just, I can't sleep with that wind shaking the house. I don't know why it's such a problem, but it is. But whenever we would have hurricanes in Florida, or we were going to have a wind event that was going to, that people had to worry about stuff in their yards, I couldn't sleep even then because I would be pacing through the house. I wasn't worried about the storm. I just couldn't sleep through one. It's an odd behavior that I have. Okay, what size is this one supposed to be? 4 inches. Oh, we're switching over to this color now. Number 9. I like this fabric right here. I want some of this in yardage. See it, Teresa? I want some of this in yardage.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
So pretty.
I don't have it in blue, but I have it in like this,
Oh, you got it in the pink color. Oh, that one's
yeah,
pretty
purpley
too.
pink color. Yeah,
That's awesome. I have
this is
that.
this is actually pink, and this is the purple one.
Oh, I didn't know there was a purple.
Yeah, and there's a yellow, and there's a peach,
That's gorgeous. I really like that fabric.
and
Hey,
there's a white.
Sherry. Yeah, the white is the background on this quilt. That's pretty. I'm gonna have to order me. I think that quarter shop's still selling that because I think it's low volume or base or it's considered basics anyway. And if they are, I'm
Yeah,
thinking of buying some.
yeah, they are very pretty.
Yep.
Seems like I'm just playing with the fabric and not actually cutting it yet.
Not wanting to cut it.
Yeah. Hi, Lana.
Hey, Lana.
Hi, Sherry. No, we're not working on the same quilt, but we are working with Tula Pink.
Yep. Some of her fabrics, some of what's in mine.
I might change my mind about the foundation paper piecing.
Thinking about doing.
Well, I've had this spool kit for a long time. This right here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
What do you think about using the Tula Pink for that?
Yeah, the kit was Tula Pink.
Oh,
And
so you'd be showing
yeah,
off the fabric.
right. It would show the fabrics a lot better.
Yeah,
I might
that
do
sounds
it
like a
instead.
that sounds like a great idea to me. Let's see, number 10.
Just take out all the solids and
Yeah,
because why would I want to showcase solids?
that's a good question.
Yeah, some of the fabrics are hard to cut. That's for sure.
Ian loves Tula Pink. I took him a bunch of it when I went to QuiltCon. Some of it I'd
Yeah.
had for a long time because it came in a sew sampler box. The ones with the little seals on them. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
That I had that quarter kit of that came in one of the sew sampler boxes. I
Yeah.
just not big into Tula. And the only reason I'm doing this Tula is because my granddaughter loves this stuff, loves these bright out of, in your face kind of stuff. And I do like the in your face stuff, just not this. I think she's going to be a little bit on the eclectic side. She's starting to show that tendency now. And it seems that she's as talented of an artist as my oldest daughter. So apparently this must be a genetic thing going on being passed to some in the in each generation. I told my oldest daughter she should, I said, you know, that a lot of the fabric designers out there these days started out being artists. And I said, I don't see why you couldn't take your talent and design fabric. And I said, at least then you can work at home. But she likes her job right now, so. So what is everybody else working on that just came in? And for those of you that just came in, you might not be aware of this, but Nikolaj didn't fly today. He is at home with me. We are getting bad weather. In fact, I went live earlier this afternoon. And so if you look on my YouTube channel, you'll find a live and it shows how bad the weather is. Because I let it run for about 58 minutes. Let's see, we're looking for number, see, this was number 10, so now I need number 11, which is going to be the 4 3/4. Yep. Hey, Andrea, how are you? Don't forget to do the poll up top. We're going to be talking about that poll in a few minutes. I need to trim this block.
So these spools are 4.5 by 8.5.
Oh, that's a nice size block. And it's not too big.
Of course, some of them will have to be fussy cut.
Will that be hard for you to do?
No.
I bought some fabric in Florida that are of horses. One of them was yardage of horse heads. Actually, both of them had horse heads, but one was different than the other one. One of them looked like one of them was a panel, but the other one was actual yardage with horse heads. And I bought enough that I made sure that I got all of them. And I'm trying to decide how I want to create a quilt out of them. Because I think it'll be a lot of fun, whatever I get, whenever I do get creative with it. And Sherry, I saw your message, by the way. Teresa, did you see the little sign I got from my Greenland quilter?
I was there when you showed it, but I didn't get to see it.
Oh, well,
If that makes sense. I think I was in the kitchen doing something.
Let me show it to you.
Oh, wow.
And it's made of metal.
Oh, wow. That is pretty.
Yeah, and it came with these hardware so you can mount it.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, I love it. I thought it was plastic, but no, it's actual metal.
Huh. But now, where'd you get that from?
Through Soft Square
Huh.
quilt company. They have I guess
Oh,
they've been doing business with whoever makes these, and this was $25. So I mean, I couldn't complain about that. I thought it was going to cost way more than that,
right.
and it was a decent price, and I love it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I think so too. I just have to wait until we get in the other room before I figure out where I'm going to put it. Thought about putting it on the door, but I think I want to put a sign on the door that says Katie's and Nikolaj's craft room. Because I think that's what we're going to start calling it, is the craft room.
Teresa, what's the name of that tulip pattern? I can't find it. It's called Spool for Love. Spool for Love. And it's an older one. I think I got this about 3 years ago. Spool for Love by Free Spirit, of course. Hula Pink.
Judy Smith, hey Judy. She says she's working on a pillowcase. And Deb says that she hasn't done much sewing this last week, waiting for month 3 block of Becca's quilt along. And then Andrea says, I finished all 30 of my 9 patch block parts for your pattern today. I been working on Land That I Love for Tammy's and Kathy so long. You got all of those 9 patch blocks done? Wow. I better hurry up and get mine done then. Oh my gosh.
Yes, it is 2020, Terry. Yeah. But I bought it at my local quilt shop for half off. I can't remember what, I want to say it was around $65 or something like that for this kit. And which, you know, was an awesome price for all the fabric that you got in there.
I didn't think I would enjoy doing when I first got these paper piecing for these 4-inch blocks. I thought I might have a little bit of a hard time with it because they're smaller, but I'm actually enjoying this. Well, especially now that I know what I'm doing.
Okay. Do I want to do the spool quilt or the pineapple quilt?
You want to ask the chat to help you
Yeah.
make that
What do
decision?
what do you guys think?
Here, let
What
me
should we-
spotlight you so you can show them both.
I can either
And
do the spool quilt or I can do pineapple foundation paper piecing quilt with the Tula Pink fabric. So one is this one. The spool would be number 1. The pineapples would be number 2.
so y'all share your thoughts. Number 1 or number 2?
This will be number 1. Oh my goodness, Terry. Maybe I ought to save all this fabric and resell it because there's a kit online for $375.
Is that a good price or a bad price?
That is a lot because I paid like $65 for it.
So it's tripled in price?
Yeah, that's one thing
Hey.
about Tula. That's why I have a hard time cutting Tula Pink is because it's like an investment. Oh, Andrea says, do the pineapple and I can do it with you. Andrea, are you going to use Tula Pink fabric?
Okay,
And do you have the pineapple papers?
Moon. Okay.
Terry
Yeah.
says number one because the pineapple chops
put
up
up
the
right
fabric
now.
too much. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. See,
Is it a full moon?
Oh, it's next time.
if I did the pineapples, I would only use, like, I would put a fussy cut in the middle, and then the rest of them, I would only use the Tula Pink that has little prints of stuff on it. Nothing too big. Yes. Stop, don't cut.
Yeah, but
I
the
have
purpose of having it is to cut it and to make something out of it.
Mary says the same thing. Do the spools because number one loses the fabric. Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I was thinking. I could save the pineapple.
I'm sure something else will present itself with that pineapple.
Yeah,
But you could show off the Tula Pink with the spool.
right, right.
I would use the fabric. That's just my opinion.
You wouldn't save the fabric and resell it?
No, I just don't do stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's not in my nature. It's never been about money. I I I gripe enough about money when I have to pay more than I should to for it. Oh wow, that is pretty. Look at this guy's all
okay.
purple.
Maybe I will do the spool kit and I'll use the pineapple papers for a different project.
I think that's a good idea.
Or maybe I could do both.
Yeah, you could always do like a mini of both if you want to do that. A mini wall hanger or something. If you don't want to do the full size.
Yeah,
I mean
because
the
I think it would be pretty cool to have some of the patterns in the middle of that block of the
yeah,
pineapple block.
yeah, I agree with you on that.
Toss a dime. Yeah.
Or a penny.
Do a coin toss.
Quick toss, heads or tails.
All right, I think I'm going to pick out my fabrics for the spools. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
What's that? Oh, is that a street light right there? Or is that something else?
That's with the moon,
So what's this up here?
probably the star.
I know the planets are in alignment right now. That might be one of the planets.
Yeah.
Because the all 7 planets were going to align where you could see all of them in the sky.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. He got a picture from the window and you can see more than just the moon. There's something else brighter up above the moon.
Hi, Mona.
Hey, Mona.
Hey, Katie. You have me on big screen.
Yeah, I'm really bad about forgetting to turn that off.
Okay, I need 60 fabrics for my spools. So I'm going to pick out the fabrics.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. And
As much as you have in that basket, you probably could make more than one quilt.
I know. See, that's what I was thinking. Okay. I'm going to use my Tula Pink ruler.
All
And,
right.
yeah. See if, yeah. So I can use this fabric that has the sewing machine on it
Uh-huh.
because it's smaller than 4.5 inches. Okay, so there's one. And then I have that in the other color. I'm going to have a big mess here on my table here. All right.
What you could do is decide on how many spools you want to work on tonight and cut for 5 or 6 spools,
Yeah,
and that way you can reduce the amount of stuff you've got sitting on your sewing table.
that is true. Okay, here's the line that has the doggies on it.
I didn't know she did one with dogs.
Yeah.
That means I haven't even seen that one. I've seen the ones with the elephants on it, and I forget what else. And then that one of the lady, whoever she is.
So I could fussy cut that. I have mostly like fat quarters.
Mm-hmm. Mona says 60 question mark. I think she's talking about 60 spools, right?
Yeah, 60.
Or 60
I mean,
pieces of fabric.
60 pieces of fabric for the spool quilt. Oh no, I don't know if you were here when we were discussing it, but there's the Tula Pink spool quilt. There's one with the rabbits. Ooh, this one's pretty. Look at this, Katie.
Oh, you're right. Is that hedgehog?
It's a turtle.
Oh, it's a turtle. Put it back up there again. Oh, that is pretty. Those would be, oh my goodness. I haven't seen that particular line.
Yeah, this is let's see. It's called Beasties. Like beast.
Called Beast. I'll have to look that up and see what all
Beasties.
of it. Mona says I am, but I have to have background noise. Oh, she's trying to take a nap while we got a live going on. Hey, that works. I have to have background noise to sleep. I don't know how my husband sleeps through all my noise, but he does. The one thing that I've realized that I can't play or have on the TV because he says I do this in my sleep is I'll put music on the TV and he says I'll be singing in my sleep. And it's not the first time someone said that because I take my earbuds when we go out on the boat. And because I'm used to sleeping with a TV on, there's no TV on the boat. And so I take earbuds and I play music in the earbuds. And I've been told more than once they could hear me in there singing. They weren't complaining about it. They were just saying, "Do you know that you sing in your sleep?" No, I did not know that. I know I talk in my sleep because Nikolaj mentioned it a few times. He said sometimes he's heard me carrying on a conversation in my sleep.
Really?
Yep. But you know what? Sometimes I carry on a conversation when I'm awake and no one's around. He's caught me doing that in the kitchen. He says, "Who are you talking to?" "Oh, I'm just trying to work out something in my brain, but I'm doing it verbal." Because I guess he's not seen anyone ever do that, but I do it a lot, especially when I'm trying to work something out. You know, like I'm cooking a new, or I'm making a new recipe or something, and I'm thinking about what I want to do with it. Okay, I
Yeah.
need to press this because now I've got this one block done, and then I'll trim it and show it to you. Because this is a different block. This one's called the mulberry block. Did you finish getting all the treats out of your ball? Hmm? It's funny, this dog thinks about nothing but food. And it doesn't matter how much food you give her, she will take more if you give it to her. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Miss Verbal Girl. I think she's happy that Daddy didn't leave today because she saw him pack his suitcase last night. So she slept in our bed last night because of it. She wasn't letting him out of her sight. Dogs are smart. They know when something's. It's weird how she knows it's time for him to leave again. Because she starts
Yeah.
being Miss Clingy Butt. Yesterday he went to the store and he was only gone, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe. She started whining the minute he walked out of the door. Now she hadn't done any of that whining since he'd been home until yesterday. So she knew it was getting close that he was going to be leaving. I know what you want. You want me to yeah, you want me to give you something. What? Are you about to start talking? Hmm? Yep. Can y'all hear her?
Yeah, I can hear her.
And she's looking at me while her tail's wagging. So that thumping noise you might hear, that's her tail hitting the side of the sewing table. You're just gonna have to wait, Missy.
I have the Alice in Wonderland fabrics too.
You got that one too? Wow. Hello, all. I never knew Katie went live. Really? It's time for everything. Laugh out loud. Welcome, Gina. I'm glad to see you
Oh,
here.
well, Terry, maybe I should put the kit all back together and not. She said, I have a rare kit. Huh.
It's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if I have the list of what fabrics was in it.
Deb Till says that kit is wow. I cannot believe that. $375. That's that's insane. I'm showing the block.
$375 on eBay. Wow. Hmm.
Terry Bishop. All right. So I'm going to start on. So I have to make 4 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the number 2. After I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's see if it tells me the fabric list in here. Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, your problem child.
Fabrics are cut once, busy fingers, pedal to the metal, measure twice, tools of the trade, getting snippy, pins and needles, getting snippy, getting snippy. Oh, and the solids. I don't know if I even have the solids anymore. Oh, it has the pictures of them. Okay, here we go. That's better. Hmm. Yeah, I do have B because I don't really care for this one. This is the ones that have the hands on it, you know. I think I have enough Tula Pink other fabrics that I wouldn't have to use the fabrics from this kit. I can't believe it's $375.
Crazy.
That is like crazy.
Takes a rich person to be able to afford that.
Well, the local quilt shop, my local quilt shop, she stopped selling Tula Pink because she just didn't sell very much. And so she put it on sale and got rid of all of it. And it just happened to be when I showed up.
So down when remember last year when I did the Florida shop hop?
Yeah.
2 of the shop, one of them was called Black Dog. Yeah, it was in just outside of Orlando. She had 5 shelves of Tula Pink. And when you walked in there, there was a sign and it said 40% off all of it.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I said, and I walked in, I said, and some of it was new. I knew some of it was newer stuff. I said, why are you selling this for 40% off? Because I was shocked. Because everywhere before then, it was $15 a yard. And she told me, she said, sometimes quilt shops get talked into selling a line because they're by a favorite company or by a famous person or whatever, and they think that you're going to sell their fabric in that area they live in. And she thought, okay, let's try it. She said she couldn't hardly sell any of it because no one wanted to pay $15 or $16 a yard for it. I, that's why I didn't buy any of it, because
Yeah.
I wasn't paying that price for it. I won't pay $15 a yard for any fabric, not even batik. And so she had been sent some of the lines that she had been, were over a year old, and she hadn't sold any of it. So she got enough of it, and she put all of it on sale during the shop, that whole month long fabric shop hop.
Yeah.
And she's been, when she put the 40% off on it, she was selling it like crazy. And then we went to another shop that was, I think that shop was also just outside of Orlando, and they had an entire room where it was a small bit, it was a house that had been turned into a fabric shop. And one of the bedrooms, half of it was tape, the other half was Tula Pink, and there was every line of Tula Pink that there ever was sitting inside that bedroom.
Oh my goodness.
I never seen so much Tula Pink in my life. And I was also surprised by how many lines of tape they had. And all of it was $15 a yard.
That's kind of what happened here, is that she just wasn't selling it. And so, you know, but I picked up like 8, 9, 10 yards
Yeah.
of some of the basics, which I used for the backing of one of the quilts that I did. But so far, I've only made one quilt out of my Tula Pink fabric. And Terry says you can't buy that pattern either. Oh, I'll be darned. Maybe I ought to quit writing on it then.
You don't think you'll make it again if you if you were,
Oh,
I mean, if you've already written on it, you don't think you'll ever make it again?
oh, I'll make it again. But it's harder to sell if you write on it. Of course, maybe not, if
Yeah.
somebody's desperate for it. Not that I'm planning on selling it, but
You never know is right.
you never know. Oh, okay. Terry says the pattern isn't available alone. It's only available with the kit. The Spool for Love quilt pattern, Mona, this one. It's a Tula Pink pattern that came with the kit. Hmm.
I think that's what that's sure. It looks long. It looks more like it. Mhm.
Yeah, Mona, it came out in 2020, but I bought it at my local quilt shop for like, it was on sale. So I got it for like $65. And some of the girls, Terry and I think Denise, said that they found it on eBay for $375, which is like, wow, a lot of money.
Yep.
And I have a few of her fabrics that are pretty old from, from a long time ago, because I find like fat quarters at fabric stores, and they'll be like in the bottom of the bin, you go through the bin or tub of fat quarters, and there you find some Tula Pink. And I have found some pretty older fabrics from hers doing that. The hard to find ones. Yeah, that's true. Denise says, with Joanne's closing, $15 may become the regular cost of fabric.
I haven't seen Fat Quarter Shop go up too much on their fabric. I mean, I've been paying $11.70 or $11.50 for some of it. There's been a couple things that's been $12, but I have not. The only thing that I see higher than that has been Tula Pink stuff. And I think that if they start jacking the prices up on online shops, they're going to lose business because some of us cannot afford it.
Yeah, that's why I hardly ever buy fabrics that just come out this year, because most of the time when I buy fabric, it's on sale. And so it's already been out for, a year or two or three or four or six or 10.
This is one, and this one's two. Now, every now and then there is something I see that is a little pricey, but I've gotten where I have stopped spending money on things like charm packs, layer cakes. I definitely stopped doing jelly rolls a long time ago, so that's why I only have like 4 of those. I was shocked when I started working on this so long to use charm packs this year. And when I went and because we actually counted them online after I showed them all to everyone, I had 141 of them. And the oldest one was from 2015, and the oldest one was from 2019, because that's when I stopped buying them. And so now the only thing I buy is yardage and fat quarters, and that's the extent of my buying anything fabric wise, except for the PMQ. I've been doing that since spring of 2019, so I've been doing that all this time.
So the regular price of this kit was $169.99.
Oh, okay. So they doubled the price now.
Yeah. But that's on eBay. I don't even know if you can still get this in a quilt shop,
I don't know.
Probably only if you're lucky. You might find it, but there's another spool. Oh my goodness, Debbie or Deb. She said there's another spool kit for $465.72. Yeah.
Crazy.
If I wait longer, I could sell that and buy a new long arm.
A new long arm was what, 15,000?
Yeah, I know. I mean all the Tula fabric.
Oh, you mean the whole shebang?
Yeah. I gotta turn my heater down.
I think that I think that this is when you see prices like that, that's just somebody being greedy. And I
Well,
mean to sound offensive, but that they probably didn't pay that for it when they first bought it.
no, and I think I don't look at it quite that way. Because some things you buy because you are a collector, you collect that thing, right? And like my husband, he buys knives. He collects knives. And when he resells them, he expects to make, $50 to $300 off of a knife that he's selling. So some people look at some of the fabrics that way too.
It's the same with Legos. Nikolaj will show me Legos on someone on eBay, and they'll be selling it for maybe twice what he would have paid through the Lego shop. And I'm like, don't spend your money that way. That's wasting it. Because to me, and I can't help the way I feel about it. We all work
Yeah.
the same hard. We all do the same thing. Eventually he might, when he gets 80 years old, sell all of his stuff off because most of it, well, he has a lot right now that's retired. But yeah. But I worry about him buying from eBay because we've had so much trouble with eBay. You pay $300 for a Lego kit and then you don't get it.
Yeah.
Etsy. Oh, it was Etsy, not eBay. Sorry. He just corrected me on that. Nope, it was Etsy, kid.
Hi, Gina.
Had trouble with more than once actually, so we stopped buying on Etsy.
Hi, Sheila.
People buy this stuff and sell it on eBay for a higher price, and yes, Katie, it is being greedy. Hi, Sheila. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Gina. Again, I said that already, didn't I? Sorry.
I think, Terry, I think it would be really easy to come up with your own pattern for the spool kit. It's not for the quilt. It's not that difficult, I think it would be really easy. In fact, I was talking to somebody the other day about doing scrappy spools but making my own pattern. So maybe I'll still do that.
2, 3. I picked up the wrong thing. We need this one.
Gina says, I found great scrap bags of retired cloth about every 2 months from Habitat for Humanity. Oh, huh.
That's interesting. Terry says there's so much fraud. Yep.
Yeah. Hi, Jody.
If he'd have been still single and that would have happened to him, I think he would have had a difficult time on navigating how to get his money back. But I'm like this. I don't know what you call me, but I won't let it go. I'll go as far as it takes to get his money back. And we ended up talking to some higher upper to get it back. Because $300 is a lot of money to lose because someone took advantage.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hi, Joe. Sheila says, I just came back from a quilt show, and one of the vendors said she will be at a loss as people aren't buying and wouldn't come back. Her stuff was reasonably priced. Oh, that's too bad.
I think there's a lot going on right now in our world. People don't, do you know, some of you have heard me say this. Do you know when the last time I bought fabric? Because even we've had to tighten our belts. I have bought 0 fabric since the last part of November. So I've gone December, January and all of February not spent one penny on any fabric because we have no nest or what do you call it, cushion right now. Because food here has gone up even worse than it was, and fishing has been tough on top of it, and then all this stuff going on between the United States, Denmark, and here has added to it. And so, we've had to clip our wings a little bit. And that's probably what's happening in the fabric or the quilting industry when they're seeing their sales dropping. It's probably because I'm not the only one right now struggling. We're not struggling. We just don't have, I call it mad money.
Right. Well, when you got to pay, I think it's $12 for a dozen eggs.
Yep. Or $12 for one chicken. Right now, this is the current state of of life, and some of us just can't do more than that. And so I'm fortunate. I have a little bit of a stash. I don't have a big stash like I've seen some have, but it's good to have a stash at least, because when you do come upon lean months, you still can do something. Now, what's going to happen when tariffs kick in and it starts affecting us? I don't know. It may be that I can't buy anything. And and if I run out of my stash, then I'll figure out what to do about all of this. But for right now, I'm trying not to worry about it. It's worrisome, yes, but I'm trying not to stress too much over it currently. And when I come to the United States, if I get, the plan is to be there next year because it's because I go every other year, but it just depends on if everything straightens out where there's no more extra things going on, or Mona says her electric bill doubled. My friends who live in Syracuse, they get their electricity, and I think their oil too, or their natural gas from Canada, because they live so close, and the tariffs has already kicked in on their bill. So they're having to tighten their belts also.
Yeah, my electric bill was pretty high too, but partly that's because it's winter.
Yeah. Now we have a decent electric bill. Our electric bill hadn't gone up. And the reason it hasn't is because our electricity comes from hydropower, but our fuel bill, that's gone up. I don't really know how much we're paying a liter for it, but I know it's gone up because when I pay the bill, it's like, wow, that's way higher than I'm used to seeing. So let me see how much that is in US dollars, babe.
Hello, Shirley in
It was
Alaska.
4,000, right? So we just got fuel dumped on us a couple days ago, and our fuel bill was 4,600 and what? So it was 4,600 kroners. So let me tell you how much that is in US dollars. And that was for how many liters?
800 and something.
Wait, that's EA USD. And we're going to put 4,600. That's $640 for 400 liters of fuel.
600. 800. 800 liters.
Oh, 800 liters, sorry. That's $640 for 800 liters of fuel. That's not gallons, you guys, liters.
Yeah. What's that in gallons? I don't know how much that is in.
How many liters is in a gallon? Hold on. So all I got to do is convert 800 liters to gallons, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we had 800 liters. has 211 gallons
Oh, man.
for $640 US. That's about probably 30 to a 40% jump in our fuel costs this go around. I'm glad our electric bill has stayed where it's at. Makes me happy that I don't have to worry about that going up too, you know.
Bye, Mona. Get some rest.
Take care of yourself, Mona.
Is the blizzard still going on? Katie?
The snow has stopped, but the wind hasn't. So we're still in the wind event. And you can definitely tell on this side of the house because it's cooler on this side because that wind is coming from the north. And yeah, but they saw my live today of I turned the camera on and put it in the window so they could see how bad the weather is here. That's the first time I thought to do it. How long will that last? Oh, the fuel? Since we're starting in March,
we can reach one around every either 74, 75 days.
yeah, they come and dump fuel every 70 to 75 days, but the fuel consumption should start dropping probably in April, right?
Getting close, yeah.
Yeah, when we hit April, they'll start being warmer, and then I'll go down there and I'll turn the thermostat even lower because right now our thermostat is not even on high. We've got it set around 3, I think, and I'll take it down to like 2 until May. And then as soon as May gets here, I'm going to crank it all the way down to where it's just below 1. And the 1 will keep the floors warm. And I'll have constant hot water, of course, but it won't be causing the boiler to kick on constantly. Because we have heated flooring in our house.
Mona said that the restaurants in her area added 50 cents surcharge per egg.
Wow.
Wow.
Thought I heard something about Waffle House doing that too.
And Denise
So
said that they're talking about importing eggs from Canada to the USA to lower the cost.
not if somebody jacks tariffs on it. Our eggs went up. Honey, it went up what, 4 kroners or 3? Honey,
What?
our eggs went up 3 kroners or 4 kroners.
What?
For our eggs.
Yeah, I think 4.
They went up 4 kroners, but we're not sure why. We think it's inflation because there's no bird flu in Denmark. And this is the first time I've seen eggs even go up. Because usually they're expensive anyway. But there's been some talk here in town about there's a I'm friends with a lot of people, but this particular one hears a lot more because he works at him and his husband works at the commune. He just retired from the commune actually, but his husband is still there. And the locals want to have a chicken house because we went through a period about 4 months ago where we went 7 weeks without eggs in the stores. There was none. And so they want to have a communal chicken house where they can raise chickens and for laying, and then people can just buy the eggs from the factory or whatever you want to call it, chicken house.
Yeah, it's a good
Which
idea.
I think is a great idea, because I can't convince my husband into letting us have one. He's like, he says, you can forget about it, woman. That is a big fat veto on the chicken house. It's because of the snow and stuff. It's more work in the winter, and
Oh yeah, that's why I don't have them.
our house gets buried in snow so much that the chicken house probably would end up that way too. And yeah, and he just doesn't want to deal with all of that heartache.
Yeah, Joe, that is a long time without eggs.
Yep. Believe me, I was complaining about it because I couldn't do things like make pancakes, or I didn't care that I couldn't make a cake. It was, we eat eggs in pancakes, and we like to eat boiled eggs quite often. Plus, I feed eggs to my dog raw, and so she went 6 weeks without having any eggs at all. And she needed the calcium comes from those eggshells that she was eating. She's a funny little dog. You should see how she eats eggs. She takes her teeth and she just cracks open just enough on one side of the egg. Then she takes her tongue to get all the yummies out of it first. Then you hear this crunch, crunch, crunch. And she saves the eggshell for last. But here's another interesting thing about her. Dogs can have apples and they can have sweet peppers and and blueberries. And sometimes I'll put in her bowl, she'll get an egg, chicken. Sometimes I'll put a piece of lamb, or the other day it was whale meat that she got. And then we put a slice of apple and a whole small sweet pepper. Do you know what she ate first? The apple.
Yeah?
You
Huh.
know, most dogs eat food in the order they think are high value. Apparently, to her, an apple and a pepper is high value food.
She wanted something sweet first.
Yeah, it was pretty funny watching her eat it. She really likes both of them.
Willa loves huckleberries. When we go out huckleberrying,
Mm-hmm.
I can't
Berries
get her
are
to
good
quit.
for dogs.
She just gobbles them up.
Yep. We have something called a crowberry that grows wild here along with the blueberries. And right around the latter part of the summer when everything's ripening, and we go out on nature walks, before Coda passed away, both of them would be grazing the whole time we were out there, grazing on berries. And there's some kind of grass, there's a specific grass that both of them seem to like a lot.
Strawberries.
Yeah, and it was blueberries and crowberries and that funny color looking grass they like to eat. I don't know what kind of grass it is, but it's this really dark green color. And they're specific with that particular grass that they eat it.
Yeah, my dogs eat grass too. And grass is good for dogs because
Yes, it
it,
is.
it helps with the digestion.
Yep. If there was stinging nettle here, they would probably be eating that too. Because
Mhm.
dogs love stinging nettle. And for whatever reason, it doesn't cause them problems on their mouth. They have some kind of enzyme in their mouth that neutralizes what makes us uncomfortable when we come in contact with it.
Stinging nettle is really good for you as a tea.
Mm-hmm.
Make a hot tea out of it.
I've never thought
Yeah,
about using it for tea.
yeah, it's very
What's it
good for
taste?
you.
Have you ever had it?
No, but I've heard about it.
I was wondering what it tastes like.
I don't know.
You're right, Gina. Pumpkin is definitely good for them. Um, and the seeds in a pumpkin is good for them. It's a natural wormer for dogs. I just have to watch her because if I put a whole pumpkin out, like a whole half of a pumpkin out there, she would gorge herself. So I have to like limit how much she eats of it.
Yeah, pumpkin is something I give when they have a stomach ache.
Yep.
Good for the tummies. Somebody wanted to know, does Nora eat an egg every day?
Yes. She gets one egg per day, the whole thing. I don't even crack it. That's her job. I try not to, because this is a natural diet for a dog anyway. Because kibble didn't come into. There's a history about where kibble came from, and it originated in the UK actually. And it was because before kibble came into play, people fed their animals from their table, and and mostly it was raw that they fed their dog. It doesn't make a dog aggressive to feed them raw. And the reason they started making kibble is because people were working, and I can't remember the name of the guy, but he wanted to make it so that they didn't have to do extra work to feed their animal. Just pour a kibble in a bowl and go on about your business. And nowadays, kibble's so full of bad things that causes so many things for dogs. It's no wonder so many of them have allergies and sicknesses and cancers, because I bet there wasn't all that much cancer way back in the day when they were feeding raw food.
Right.
The biggest issue I have about feeding raw is I can't get my hands on organ meat. Organ meat, you just don't see it here. And so I always worry that because I can't get it, it causes a deficit with her. But she seems healthy enough. She won't eat liver, which is odd, and that's an organ meat. I don't think she likes the smell of it or either the taste of it. One of them. Because I tried every which way with liver. You're not supposed to cook raw food for dogs when you have them on that type of a diet. And I even tried cooking. Someone suggested doing like a soft boil on a liver. Neither one of them would even touch it. So I don't know what the deal was. Maybe cow liver is not tasty. I don't know.
Our dogs get liver every day. They love it.
I can't get her to eat it. She just absolutely
But
won't do
it's
it.
deer liver or elk liver, one of the two.
I had thought about seeing if someone could collect the. I need to talk to Torben next time he kills a deer. Maybe he can pull the liver and the
Heart.
kidneys out of the deer, because those both are organ. Wait, kidneys organ meat or a muscle? I have to
And the
look that
heart,
up about kidneys. The heart is a muscle, so there's no point in doing the heart.
well, we feed them heart too. We feed them the heart. They love it.
It's interesting. She loves lamb and duck. She and fish. You take out fish and you haven't even took it out of the plastic and she's already caught scent of it. And she starts begging. Because dogs like bananas too. I thought bananas were bad for dogs. Maybe I need to revisit that subject. Teresa, how's the weather out there by you?
It's a beautiful sunny day here. I need to go to the little girl's room. I'll be right back. I drank too much tea.
No, Gina, but that's something for me to think about. Maybe I could try that. I
Huh,
know one thing.
that's interesting.
I know one thing that I've noticed is if I let them eat too much or let her eat too much salmon, it loosens her stomach a little bit, and that's not a good thing.
Remember they try set for the first time?
You should give her a couple pieces of amasat. We showed them amasat the other day. Now I have some people in here who may not know what it looked like because they probably weren't on the Greenland Live. Oh, we're going to show you a dried fish that is called amasat, which is in this. It's green. It's a Greenlandic word, but these little fishes come from the smelt family. So I don't know the English word for it. I've only ever known them by the Greenlandic word because I didn't even know there was such a thing. but they're kind of related to. I'll look into that, Gina, because that might be what I could try out. These are Amathot.
Oh,
And these are harvested when? In the spring or
yeah.
early summer?
Summertime.
How many are you going to give her?
No.
Don't give her too many.
5?
Golly.
5?
Give her one more and the rest back. Because you already gave her one, right?
Yeah.
If you can get it apart. She's inhaling them. She ain't even chewing them. Gosh. I'll try that out, Gina, because I do have I have a food processor, so I can do it in that. I'll try again and see if I can get her to eat it that way. Because I thought it was either the smell or the texture that was putting her off. Okay, number 7 is 3.5. Right.
Katie,
Yeah.
you might want to check, but you're not supposed to feed some dogs raw salmon.
You have to freeze the salmon for 3 months. Wild
Okay.
salmon, it has to be frozen for 3 months before you feed it. And I'm aware of that parasite. It's a type of worm, and I've seen them a couple times in salmon that we caught. But yeah, we're aware of that, and we freeze it for 3 months before I ever feed it to her.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know they feed like dogs up in Alaska, the sled dogs, salmon all the time, but
Yeah, they do. Same
uh,
here. Now
normal dogs,
I don't know if they even go by that rule up north, to be honest.
I don't think they do, but those dogs have been used to it. They,
Yep.
they have the right enzymes in their body, I guess,
Yep.
to
Yeah,
whatever.
because they feed them whatever they catch between fish, polar bear, seal, whale. I mean, whatever they've
Yeah.
caught that day. And none of it's ever cooked. And they have these containers that sit out there where their dogs are at, because I saw them in Sissy Moot. And all that meat is just kept right there inside of it. It's not in a regular um refrigerator type thing.
Huh.
Mmm. Yummy. I got out of cooking tonight.
You don't have to cook?
No, he's in there making soup.
Oh,
And
yeah.
his soup is so good. Oh my goodness.
What kind of soup does he make?
Chicken and pork tenderloin. So he cooked a whole chicken and uh-oh. What in the world? Okay, gotta rethread my machine. Um he cooked a whole chicken first, and then while that was going on, he prepped the chicken tenderloin and cut them in chunks, and then he took the chicken out so he could debone it. And while it was being deboned, the pork was cooking in the pot. And then he slowly starts adding other ingredients. He puts pasta in it, haricots, a tiny bit of corn, a little bit of rice, and I think that's it. And of course, he's seasoning and stuff, but it's so yummy. And
Hmm.
pork tenderloin has turned out to be the go-to meat. He was using just regular like pork chops or whatever, but when you boil pork, especially that kind of pork, it makes it a little tougher. And so we experimented with pork tenderloin one day, and he's like, "Wow, there's a complete total difference in the way the meat is. When you use pork tenderloin, it's so tender. Boiling it in soup like that is good."
Huh.
And it turns out that was a great thing to try out, test run it.
Right.
I cannot see this needle. It's because I'm using a smaller needle. I might have to get his eyeballs in here to help me. Or either I need to change the needle one. I'm using a smaller needle and the hole in it seems smaller. Ah, there it goes. I got it threaded. Yay!
Bye, Judy. Have a great day.
Take care, Judy. What time is it? Oh, we're doing pretty good. We've been on 2 hours. I don't think anyone's alive behind me that I know of. Until later tonight, anyway. I think, I'm not sure. I know So Ya's going, but that don't count.
Yeah, they come on whenever
Yeah,
they
I mean,
want.
not everybody's buying from So Ya these days. And I kind of think that they don't count, they're not sewing. I would love to have the amount of viewers they have. Of course I would, but who wouldn't? You have 800 people watching. But you know who else will have 800 people watching? Tiffany.
Yeah.
That is an amazing woman. I've
Yeah.
never seen anyone who she's truly amazing. I'm always like, when I watch her design a quilt on the fly, she's really good at it. She just
Yeah.
does.
She's fast too.
Yeah. I don't care about the fast part as much as she just puts something together. That's what I want to be like. Just throw a quilt together based on whatever's inside my head.
Yeah.
I don't want to become a pattern writer or nothing like that. I just want to learn how to be a good designer of my own stuff. Number 8 is the only thing about this paper piecing is you have to go back to the pattern to see what you use next. Because there's, the way this is set up, because you're not familiar with it. That's the only thing different about this. But I enjoy the process. I'm really having fun with it. Are you guys enjoying the live tonight? Oh, we should talk about that poll. I kind of
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about it.
I
Yeah,
forgot about it.
let's visit that poll.
I'm
'Cause
sure everybody got it right.
I'm pretty sure they did too. It says 98%, so someone chose something different, it looks like. Okay, let's go have a look at that poll. Yeah, Gina says she makes it look so easy. She does. All right, here's the poll. And it looks like 41 people have voted. If you haven't voted, say something in the channel real fast. I haven't voted. And if you haven't voted, come vote. Because I'm about to spill the beans on what the answer is. If I'm not careful, I'm going to pull this out. What are you whining about? You just got food. Oh, I bet I know what you're whining about now. Now it's like, take it to the toilet. You're so funny, Nora.
Hey, Jean. She said, yes, I'm enjoying it. Thanks for sharing your day.
Thank you, Jean. Okay, Sherry, will you go vote, please? I think someone needs to go out. OUP.
Joe, the poll is at the top of the chat.
Yep, it's right at the top of the chat.
It's in like dark blue.
It says it's talking about what's the standard seam allowance for quilts. That's the poll. And then I'll tell you what the answer is. Some of you already know what the answer is.
If you're a quilter, you should know.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm going to ask one that, and Sherry, don't leave the channel because the next poll has something to do with what you told us. It has to do with hand quilting. And I'm going to see how many remembers what you said. So has everybody voted? All right, going once. Going twice.
So did I spend.
Quiltanon says it's not a half an inch. Okay, so here's what the poll gone. Yeah. All right. So the question is, what is the standard seam allowance for quilts? A says half inch, B says 1/8 of an inch, C says 1/4 inch, and D is 1 inch. So here's the percentages. 2% voted on A, 0% voted on B, 98% voted on C, which is 1/4 of an inch, and 0% voted on 1 inch. The answer is C. Congratulations, y'all. All right, I have a new one for you, and I'm going to see what y'all come up with on this one. This one's going to be fun because either you'll remember what we talked about in one of our lives with Sherry, or you won't.
Do you know what the standard seam allowance is when you're making clothes?
3/8 of an inch, I think. Or is it 5/8 of an inch? I think it's 3/8 of an inch. If I remember right. I don't know. I always use the pattern, so whatever the pattern said. Why do I have two chat screens up here? That's weird. All right, let's start this poll setting up. Okay. She didn't do anything? Okay, I'll take care of it. Oh, there's the, she doesn't know to do it right there at the front door, honey.
Right, but
She's like, you want me to do it on the deck? Really?
Good job, guys. Yep, 5/8.
Oh, so I had it wrong. Or did I have?
You
I
had
said
the 8.
Yeah.
You had the 8 part.
I knew
right.
it was either 3/8 or 5/8. I couldn't remember which. There's a couple of, yeah, wait till you see this one. Sherry's going to smile when she sees it. Okay. The question is, which of the following is the best kind of needle for hand quilting? A, crewels, B, milliners, C, sharps, or D, betweens? Okay, I'm gonna let this sit up here for a little while and let y'all put the answer in. Let's see who was listening the other day.
I'm going to have to guess on that one.
See, she's teaching hand quilting and we gave a supplies list and suggestions. And so, and she explained why one particular needle was best to use.
just added the rice for a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah. Take your time, babe. I'm not rushing you.
Soon, within 5 or 10 minutes, I'll have the biggies.
Okay, probably by the time 30 more minutes and yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yep. Okay, number 9. We need, uh-oh, I'm missing, no, not. Number 9 is the 4-inch. Oh, wait. I was about to use the wrong one. Uh-oh. I think I'm missing something being said because my chat screen does not move. Jean, yeah, please guess. If you don't know the answer, still guess, okay? Don't ignore it because you never know, your guess might be right. It's always okay to guess. It's like when you get a true false, you have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. You know what I mean? Gina says it was super fun hanging out with you ladies. Can't wait for the next live. See you soon. Are you leaving? Thank you for coming, by the way.
Bye, Gina.
Do you need help with your watch hours, Teresa?
No, I'm not
I didn't know if you,
monetized,
oh, okay.
so none of that really matters to me.
Because I can come over and do some watch hours for you. I like doing it. I'm always visiting somebody's channel and watching an entire playlist.
Although I have been thinking about monetizing because it would help pay for the shipping on giveaways and stuff.
Yeah,
Because shipping is, my God.
I know. I've been hearing a lot of people say it's even bad in this state.
'Cause I have so much stuff that I want to give away, but I don't want to pay the shipping.
Yeah, well, I understand that.
I went down to the post office. I was going to mail out um, an envelope like this,
Uh-huh.
the size envelope, okay? And it had uh, patterns in it. It was one of the block of the months for the Sew Sampler.
Mhm.
So they're just this size pattern sheets, and I think there were 12 of them. You know, it's just cardstock, right? Didn't really make it that thick. And the girl down there wanted to charge me $6.55 to
What about
mail that out.
what about if you used the priority envelope? Was that wouldn't have been cheaper?
No.
Oh wow, because in
So
Florida
I'm
the
like,
priority is cheaper.
well, she's fairly new down there. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay that. So I waited a couple of days and went back down where the other gal was there,
Mhm.
and it was $2.55 or $2 and
Oh,
something.
thank goodness.
Yeah. So I told her, I said, you know, I'm not trying to get that other girl in trouble, but you should know this is what she was going to charge me. And you might let her know, you know,
I
because
have a story to tell too to you. You're going to be shocked when you hear it.
the girl isn't somebody you can, you know, argue with. Let me
Yeah.
put it that way.
One of those kinds.
Yeah. Well, as soon as I said, well, I'm not going to pay that much, she goes, well, it's not my fault it cost that much.
Oh, she got
I'm like,
attitude.
yeah, she's got a real bad attitude. I'm like, I never said it was your fault. You don't make the prices.
You just
But
work it.
as it turns out, it was her fault because she rang it up wrong.
Yep. Sounds that way. Wow.
But we only have one post office, and so I just bit my tongue.
Treat hatefulness with kindness, you know.
Yep.
So my friend Mary, which is her address is my permanent Florida resident address. So anything important goes to her house. Like tax stuff or whatever. And anytime I have to renew my license and everything, I have to have that along with you doing passport stuff and everything, because I have to renew all that stuff every so often. So tax papers came in the mail about 3 weeks ago, and she texted me on Messenger. She said, "I got some tax papers and normally she'll open my mail because she thinks, to make sure it's just not junk mail. But when she went to open it, she thought it was their tax papers because she said she wouldn't have opened my tax papers, and I'm like, okay, but she accidentally opened them is what she was saying. I'm like, okay, what's up? She says, well, I'm pretty sure you need those tax papers. I said, yeah, you can just mail them if you want to. And she says, well, I'll put them in the mail. She came back and this is what she wrote to me. When she was at the post office, the lady there told her that she was concerned that I would have to pay tariffs or import taxes on my tax paper. And so Mary was worried that they were going to open my mail, which was all paper mail, and then charge me an import tax because of my IRS paperwork. And I said, she said that to you? She says, yeah. And I said, did you believe her? Well, I didn't know what to think. I said, Mary, this is just paperwork. And if it showed how much money I made on my little 1099 thing, what's that got to do with anything? What they'll charge import taxes on is real stuff if they're going to do it,
Right.
But I'm like, I couldn't believe it. Someone told Mary that, and then she believed it. I'm like, whoever told you that lied. There is no such thing as that.
Or they don't know the rules of the,
Yeah, apparently not. Because it was just regular standard mail. Some of the stuff people say to people is crazy. I have never had to pay import tax actually since I've lived here. Greenland doesn't do that. Now, sometimes we get flack from if it comes through FedEx, and it's not here that we get the flack from. It's in Denmark that we get the flack. They want to charge extra money for shipping, and I'm like, look at here, dude. We already paid high price for the mail. Uh-oh. Oh, it's okay. Never mind. I thought I did something wrong here. So you can't double charge us for something that's already been paid for. If you're going to charge an import tax, then let's get on with it, But he didn't. Because I didn't have enough to warrant an import tax. Why our food is so high here is because Greenland has to pay import taxes for food. You know how when you go in a grocery store in the United States, you pay taxes on non-food items or alcohol. You pay taxes on non-food, alcohol, cigarettes, something else, isn't it? Yeah, those are the main ones. Here, the taxes is on everything. It doesn't matter whether it's non-food or food. But we don't have, on your receipt, it shows what your state tax is that you pay for your non-food. Here, you don't even know what the amount of tax you're actually paying on food because the prices that like in the videos you saw me post during Christmas time of going in the store, like if something was 35.95 kroners, that included the tax in it. So you're not aware of actually what percentage of that money is taxes.
Oh, yeah.
You have no idea. I do
We
know
can,
that a higher price for sugar, tobacco, alcohol, and anything that has sugar in it. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's got sugar in it, it's going to cost more. So that means cookies, ice cream, the whole 9 yards costs more. They just started doing this sugar tax because they think it's going to make people stop eating sugar. Yeah, they're trying to force people to stop. And I don't know whose bright idea was that. Probably Denmark. Oh, it was Greenland? Wow.
Idaho charges tax on everything too.
Wow.
Well,
Not know that.
it's put on at the end of the bill, so you know how much you're paying.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That was one thing I liked about living in Oregon is you didn't have sales tax like that. No sales tax.
Do you have state taxes or state income taxes too?
Yep.
There seems to be a lot of state income tax or states that have income tax. Florida's one of them that doesn't, which is interesting.
That will do for now for her.
I already fed her. Give her the backbone, but take the egg away. She can have the rest. Just take the egg away because she's already had it.
I have to give her one more because I would the egg has already.
You already broke the egg?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Then she gets twice that. And she gets 2 eggs. She's probably going to waste the eggshell then, knowing her. When you give her 2 eggs, she always wastes the second one.
Yeah, no, Oregon has no sale tax. Yeah, they do have property tax. And it's my property tax here in Idaho was a lot more than what it was in Oregon. And we have the same amount of property basically. Of course, this house is a lot bigger than the one we had in Oregon,
That's
but
interesting.
they do have like this program where you can sign up for, I can't remember what they call it, but in Oregon, it's if you have so much property, you can sign up for exclusive farm use. So you can get a discount that way. So
Oh,
I was able to do that.
that's cool.
And here they have another discount thing. So you get about half off. So I'm like, well, if anybody can sign up for that, why don't you just make it half off to begin with? You know?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
They must like doing that extra paperwork.
Well, they just hope that people don't sign up for it, you know? I
Yeah,
guess.
because that means a hassle. Hey, don't forget to put the spinach in, babe.
How is it?
I forgot that was another ingredient. We started putting spinach in the soup.
Ah, spinach.
Not a lot, just enough to give that spinachy taste,
Yeah.
or it enhances the taste. Put it that away. I can't explain that exactly.
Use it like a spice.
Yeah, there's just something about putting it in it that adds that little extra to it. You know. And lately I've been on I don't know what's with me. I have been craving spinach like crazy. Oregon has no sales tax, but has property taxes. And Iowa doesn't have tax on food or dairy products. When I worked at the grocery store here in the north, Iowa was not unusual. Wait, when I worked in a grocery store here in North Iowa, it was not unusual to see people from Minnesota buying groceries down here. Minnesota taxes food. Can't say I blame them.
Yeah, that's what Idaho and Oregon do. A lot of people will go over to Oregon to buy their groceries.
It saves money. Well, heck, they tax you for everything.
Oh, they do. You know, the tax that really bothers me is when you buy a used car in, I don't know about other states, but in Idaho, you have to pay sales tax on it. You have to tell them how much you paid and then pay Idaho the sales tax on it, no matter who you bought the car from. Okay.
Does Idaho also have a tax that if you move from one state to their state and you have a car you're bringing with you, do they charge you tax for that too? Because Georgia does.
That I don't know about, but both of those are crazy because the car was already purchased one time and sales tax it shouldn't be kept having taxes put on it every time it changes hands.
Yeah, exactly. See, Thomas bought his car in California, and when I got him moved to Georgia and we got ready to get the tax for his car, that's when I found out that there was going to be a certain percent of taxes on his car because Georgia has a tax even if you brought it from another state.
That's crazy.
He didn't owe any money on the car. He paid cash for the car.
I think you should only have to pay property taxes one time.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get taxed to death. Hi, June. Hi, John.
Hey, John. Hey, June. Okay, we need a 4 3/4. All right, it's gonna go on that side. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Here, you know why we don't have a car? But we're gonna get us one of those UTVs is what we're gonna end up investing in because there's not the same kind of taxes on that. To buy a car here, you're gonna pay for the car. Then you pay taxes on the car depending on where you bought it from. Then when it comes to Greenland, there is an engine tax, a car tax, and some other kind of tax. So if you paid $20,000 for a car, you end up paying almost double that by the time you get taxed. So that's why here in our town, there's more people here in this town that own a boat than owns a car because of that tax.
You can, is there anybody you could rent a car from?
Yeah, there's some car rentals.
Yeah.
But I haven't, I mean, I could go rent a car, but I really haven't. We did the math to see which was cheaper, buying a car and paying all those ridiculous taxes or using the taxi service here in town when I needed to. Yeah, engine tax. Yeah, that's what it was. It turns out that even though I don't use a taxi cab all the time, I'll use it for shopping, things like that, you know.
Yeah.
And so I'm not in a cab every day. So when you did the math that way, and I did it based on how often I saw it in our bank account, it turns out it was much cheaper just to use a taxi service than to buy a car. The UTV, on the other hand, if we bought one, would totally get rid of using any taxi money because We would use that to go back and forth to the store. If we wanted to go out to nature, we would have that to go out to nature with. We wouldn't have to worry about it. And there would be no engine tax or anything else on it. I know there'll be taxes, but not like for a car.
My mom and dad, they lived in a little town in Oregon, kind of like this, really small town. And everybody in that town, besides ATVs, they had golf carts. And people would ride their golf carts all over town, go down to the post office, go to the store, this or that. But we're talking like maybe 100 people living in this town, right?
Yeah.
Couple.
But a golf cart was just right because charge up the battery and
Yep.
put a little bit of fuel. I mean,
It's cheaper.
yeah, it's cheaper. And they didn't have to have insurance, car insurance on it.
No, and you don't have fuel, well, taxes, and you don't have all this extra things like engine needs some kind of repair, or you know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
not having to deal with any of that. Now the UTVs here, there's two types of UTVs, or they have an ATV and a UTV here. UTV, the one we're looking at, is we're looking at a 4-seater, but it has a cab over it. It has a roof over it with a windshield on the front of it, and doors can come on and off of it. So when it's bad weather or snowy or windy, we can close it and use it like that. And when we don't need to use it, you can take all that stuff off of it.
Right.
And there's a little like a truck bed kind of style, a little mini truck bed behind it. So you can easily go camping with it. I just don't know. The thing that we've been talking about is where are we going to park it? That we don't have the risk of someone going in on a joyride in it. I said, well, I guess we'll just have to chain it to the house
Yeah, to do that.
because that can be done.
We have one of those, and it's a lot of fun in the summertime.
Yes, it is. I don't know how much fun it'll be in the winter months, but the only way to find ice. Now, someone down the road has a UTV that has tractor, like on those bulldozers, those tracks that are on a bulldozer.
Mm-hmm.
This one has the kind that you go across snow like that, that's similar to that. And I'm like, but
Right.
in the summer months, you could never use it. What does a
What-
UTV stand for? It stands for utility something vehicle. Or maybe utility, UT means utility and the vehicle is the V.
Alter terrain vehicle.
Yeah, because an ATV is an all-terrain. Yeah. So ultra.
Utility task vehicle.
Yeah, utility of, see, Deb still knew what it was. I wasn't sure what it exactly stood for, but it's not the same thing as a car. I broke my needle, you guys.
Uh-oh.
I broke it, so now we got to put a new one in. I put a really small one in it. I should have known better.
No, June, I don't think she has a garage.
No, we don't. But we have a partially closed in front porch, and there's this area right next to it where we could actually park that UTV. And if I had to, we could always take out that one raised vegetable bed and use that area for parking too. If we needed to get it close enough to the house where we could secure it. Because that was the only thing that me and Nikolaj were concerned about, is some kids thinking they were going to take it on a joyride.
Well, they have keys. You can take the key out.
Yeah, that's what I thought, that they would come with a key. But he says sometimes kids are smarter than you think they are. Which means somebody knows how to hotwire.
Well, you could take the key out and remove the steering wheel.
Yeah. Or the battery. Or they can't
Or the
crank it
battery.
up. And that would take care of that too. Just all right. Did this sew all the way through before I broke the needle, or do I still got to finish it? Oh, I still got to finish it. Looks like. I think. Yep, that's where I broke it. That what's happened is just there's been a couple times here in this town where uh someone stole someone's ATV and was joyriding around in it, and then the other time it was a scooter of all things. And the cops were chasing them all over town. It was funny. I'm like, why do you do these things? And it was just a kid having a good time, thinking it was funny.
Yeah, if you got a scooter, would you have to pay for all the vehicle tax stuff?
No, because we have a few people that have scooters. The disadvantage to a scooter is there's nowhere to put groceries,
Right.
and that's why I haven't even been interested. Because
Check into a golf cart.
but a golf cart would probably work too.
Yeah.
Because I need something where I can put groceries in it, and we can also go out to nature in it if we want to. The nature by the lake, you can't drive UTVs or ATVs on, so we walked that one. But back behind the town where they're building the airport, there's a wide open area back there where you can go camping and exploring. And some areas we haven't explored on foot at all because it's so far away from the house. And yeah, it's like 9 kilometers from our house to back there. And you have to go up the mountain and then go back down the mountain to even get to it. And so we haven't even pursued that.
Oregon started a sales tax on bicycles a few years ago.
What?
Oh my word.
They taxing bicycles.
You could probably thank that governor for that. That's terrible. I hope it's only in like the cities like Portland and stuff.
You know what's been nice, and I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's been nice that Greenland ain't been in the news lately.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's not going to last too long, but right now it's like because while everybody's paying attention to something else that's going on right now, there has been other things going on here, but not between us and there. I have this feeling that Greenland is about to try to push for independence, whether it's ready or not.
Mary says her husband didn't pay sales tax on his bike. Huh.
Do they tax motorcycles too there?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Maybe it was something they wanted to do, which wouldn't surprise me, especially if you are in Portland or something. And Deb says a lot of ranchers and farms use the UTVs. They call them side by sides. Yep.
Yeah, that's what it's called, a side by side, and it has a roof over it and a windshield on it. And some of them even have doors and things that can be put on them. That's what we've been. Yeah.
Some of it even have heaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just depends on what what kind you want or what style of it you want.
Well, if I was gonna have one that I drove around in the wintertime, it would have to have a heater in it.
Yep.
We can't even get anything out of the garage. There's so much snow in front of it that.
How many feet of snow did you get?
About 4 feet, I guess.
Is that usual for you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to melt though. We've had a couple of really nice warm days and it's melting fast. Now is going to be what we call the mud season.
I know when everything melts and turns to mud. I hate that time of the year because it's such a hot mess.
Bit different.
Yeah. The dogs, especially with the dogs, because they go for walks, and when you walk them on the road, it's a gravel road, but they splash it all up, all this gravel and dirt up
Yep.
underneath their stomachs, and then they come in and
With mud all over their bellies.
yeah. But I won't let them in through the house. We have like a mud room, what I call the mud room, and it's got a half door, so I close that door, and they have to stay in there until they get cleaned off.
That makes good sense to me because Nora, she's low to the ground. My goodness.
Katie, do they sell those in Greenland, or do you have to import it in?
Actually, there's a place here in Greenland, in Sissymoot where you can buy one. They have an actual salesperson that sells them there. Because Nikolaj's gone and talked to them. Do not trim on this line. Okay, making sure I'm trimming on the right line. I need to change this blade, darn it. I'm going to change that in a minute, in fact, because this is annoying me now.
That was me, Willa. Well, it was just me.
Maybe she hears Nora walking around.
Oh, I think I banged the table, and so she thought it was somebody knocking.
Oh, that's possible. There's another one.
Oh, nice.
Now two's made. All right, we're going to change this blade. And I'm probably going to give someone a heart attack in a minute. Oh, might as well clean out the inside of that while I'm at it. Because I see crud inside of it. Maybe that was why it was skipping. It's funny how these rotary cutters also get junk in them.
Yeah, mine are pretty dirty.
All right, now here comes the fun part, getting a blade out without cutting myself.
Be careful.
Who's cringing right now? One time I put a blade in and thought it was just one blade, and when I was cutting fab yardage, it kept cutting weird. So I got to looking at it. I had two blades on my rotary cutter,
I've done that before.
and I'm gonna have to wash my hands because there's oil all over these blades. One new blade coming up, just like that. I'll be right back, y'all. I have to go wash my hands because I got oil all over it.
Okay. Hi, Lori. How are you doing? Hi, Renee. I went to Joann Fabrics today to check out the clearance sale. Fabric was 25% off, but a lot of fabrics were still too high to begin with. Waiting for the big discount. I think you and everybody else is waiting. I know I should count these, but to me, just kind of comparing the stacks is close enough because I need 1,024 3.5-inch squares. And right now I have 800 that I've cut so far. 818. That's a guess. So
Someone
there's
just
my
come in.
Lori, I think. Yeah,
Hey,
Lori.
Lori. Okay, I have a little bit of
So
feet. Sure.
so I need to cut at least 2 more stacks. Yeah, I think I have enough fabric.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to have to cut something too because I don't know. I must have missed count when I cut.
I've been cutting up my teal colored fabric for my next square quilt.
Cool.
Yeah, I had to go dig through my stash and try to find something that was close enough because I didn't have enough teal colors.
What
Hi,
are
Pat.
oh
Oh,
who's that?
sorry. She said
No, it's okay.
she's been lurking. I've been here lurking and just signed in. Well, I'm glad you said something.
It's good to see you. Get together with Sean and others at the Mid Atlantic. Oh, you got together with them.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
you. I've been thinking about that Mid Atlantic thing and about how it's not far behind QuiltCon, especially if I make it there next year like planned. I might try to do both. Maybe drive from North Carolina up there, or either go by train one, because I don't mind going by train because trains are fun. I just didn't want to get on an airplane and fly up there. By the time I land in the United States, I've had enough of flying for a little while. And besides, these domestic flights in the United States, they're like flying in boxcars.
Quiltanon says, I did buy some thread and needles and a couple of rotary cutters, a big rulers, still spent too much money.
If you haven't voted, there's a poll up top for you to vote on, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Sherry, are you still here? I hope so, because I took a while to even think about. Uh-oh, let's not do that. That's not good.
Oh, I didn't read this one. Joe said, I don't know if you read it or not, but she was there today and just posted a video, Vintage Style by Joe. The manager said they are not expecting to lower prices to make up for losses. Oh.
And this is where?
Either Joann's or at the quilt show. I'm not sure because it was up there higher. So. What are you making with all those squares, Teresa? Hey, Deb, do you remember my red, white, and gray quilt that had 3.5-inch squares? The whole thing was 3.5-inch squares. And in fact, hold on, I'll get the pillowcase so you can see what I'm talking about.
And then when she gets done, we're going to do the poll.
So this is one of the pillows, or it will be, you know, because I still had extra leftover fabric. So I just did a quilt just like this.
That's
Only it was went and counted it. 32 squares, you know, individual squares, the 3.5-inch squares. 32 by 32. So it came out by 96 by 96. So it's a big quilt, big quilt. And then I put on one border on. So it ended up being like 100 by, 100. And for me, it's just the perfect size for my queen size bed because it has good drape on the sides, on the bottom and the top. I still have enough on the top to pull over, because my husband is a wiggler and he pulls all the covers, So I need big quilts. So anyway, my plan is I'm going to do one in teal, different shades of teal, light bluish green colors. So that's my next one. So I've been going. And then when I get that one done, I'll do one in purple. I'm going to do one in yellow. I'm going to do one in blue. Blah, 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 blah. I really like the look of the quilt when it's just squares like this. It feels to me like it's really old fashioned.
Yep.
And it's really easy to do. You don't have half square triangles and whatever. Yeah, there was one over on my channel, but I'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow over on my channel at 2:00 Pacific Standard Time. And I would show you the quilt, but it's already on the bed and I don't really want to drag it up here, but I might start sewing the teal quilt together tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan. Pat says hello to everybody.
Hi, Pat.
She said she's been working and just signed in. And then, let's see here. Lori said they had a good visit. And then Quiltanon said she was hoping to find gingers, but those were gone. Sheila says pretty fabric. And then Deb Teal says, okay, I have to check out the video if there is one. And then Joe says, great to see you. Okay, let's do this poll.
Okay, let's do the poll.
All right. The question was, which of the following is the best kind of needle for hand quilting? And the answer was A, crewels, B, milliners, C, sharps, or D, betweens. 4% voted on A, 21% voted on B, 17% voted on C, and 58% voted on betweens. Now, the other day, when Sherry and I did the first episode of the collaboration of where she's going to be teaching hand quilting, we had a discussion about needles. The best needles for using for hand quilting is D, betweens. And it's
The
because they're the Sherry could explain this better than me, but it has to do with the length of the needle being like this long. And the other has to do with the way it can bend as you're pushing it through, apparently. And I know
are
that
you
doesn't explain
are
it.
you talking about hand sewing the pieces
Yeah,
together, or
this is for hand quilting.
for quilting the 3-piece? Now, I wouldn't use that small of a needle personally.
That's what we're using it in the thing. It's called
Yeah.
between.
So
Hang on.
in my opinion, it would depend on what you prefer.
Okay, let me
Would
read what it says about it. It says betweens are the best kind of needle for hand quilting. Betweens are shorter and thicker than other types of needles, making them ideal for quilting through multiple layers of fabric. They have a small eye that is easy to thread and a sharp point that can piece through the fabric without damaging it. Betweens provide better control and precision when quilting, allowing for a more accurate and detailed stitching. And that's probably what Sherry said. I just couldn't remember everything she said. And what were you saying now, Teresa?
Okay. I can't use small needles. So
Do you have to have a longer one or a thicker one?
it would have to be longer because of my grip in my hands.
Oh, okay.
The shorter needles, I just can't hold on to them, you know.
You want to
But
see?
personally,
Go ahead.
I use one that has a little bit bigger of a eye, so you can get because quilting thread is thicker than normal thread. And so I use one that has a little bit bigger eye, so you can thread the needle. But, I think it's what you prefer. And if you're just starting out, I would certainly try it. And,
Well, I started out with a between. I just happen to have some, which is came in a sew sampler box, I'm pretty sure. But this is
yeah,
my
they did.
first time. I didn't even know how to hand sew, but this is my first time doing hand quilting.
Oh, nice. Good job.
Thank you. But
Yeah.
I I can see why it's some people say it's addictive. It is. I sat here watching once I got the hang of how to get it through there, then I sat in front of the TV watching TV and doing this practicing. The only part that I'm still struggling with is fastening off. That's where my Achilles heel is fastening off. So I still got to work
Mm.
on that part of it. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that looks really good.
thank you. But the needle is very small or short. I've never worked with one that short, but I didn't really have too much difficulty. But I don't have any hand problems either. So if anything, hand problem wise, it's my left hand. There's something wrong with it. I don't know what.
Yeah,
But
I've tried those shorter needles.
because
They
with
make they
embroidery,
make my fingers fall to sleep, you know.
oh, because you're,
Sure.
yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. I
Um,
tried them with uh English paper piecing.
uh-huh.
Because like some people say the shorter the needle, the faster you go and all that stuff, and
Well,
the
I doubt
easier
I'm
it
gonna
is.
go
I just can't use them. But
fast.
that's me, and I think really you should try different things and don't. So what I guess I'm saying is don't give up if that needle doesn't work for you. Try a different needle, try a different thread, find what works for you, because that really is a lost art, and it's good to see people getting back into doing it. And I
What
think
I
it's
had,
great that Sherry's teaching that.
yeah, and what I had trouble with is the first between was the one with the smaller hole in it. I couldn't get the needle or the thread in the needle. And so
Yeah.
even Nikolaj tried. We could not get the thread in it, and we were just using a regular all-purpose thread because I didn't exactly have any quilting thread to practice with. And then Sherry says, well, let me see the rest of your needles. And I had some more in-betweens, but the other in-betweens had larger hole. And
Eyes.
when we got one of those out, the larger eye on it, we got that out, I was able to thread that one. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to learn because I really should learn how to hand sew anyway, because I just never learned how to hand sew. When I was sewing all of my own clothes when I was a teenager, my mom never got around to teaching me how to hem my dress or sew the interfacing down on the inside of the clothes I made because she was doing it for me. She never really sat down and showed us how to do it. And so I never learned. And when I sew a button replace when a button falls off and I have to put it back on, I know I'm not putting it back on wrong or right. It's always a hot mess.
So
Sherry says, I don't agree with what works. I don't agree with what works for you. Wait, she said, nope, that's not what she meant. Wait, then she repeated herself. She says, I'm sorry, I meant to say, I do agree with what works for you when you're quilting. It depends on what thread and what type of stitching you want to do, what size stitching you want to do. There you go. Yeah. Sorry. She fixed that.
Yeah.
And then Zaza says they are too short for me to hand quilt. I use sharps for EPP, but not hand quilting. It's all about personal preferences. I don't even know what sharps are.
It's the brand, and they're sharp, they're really sharp, pointed.
And I managed to poke myself finally, Sherry. It hurt too when I did it.
In fact,
I caught the needle right up here on the top of my finger.
Yeah, that hurts.
The best needles for hand quiltings are the ones you find most comfortable, says Zaza. But if you do use another needle, it depends on the size of the thread you're going to use too. It's a preference. Betweens are too short. I prefer sharps. Got them the wrong way around. I'm with Teresa, says Zaza. I didn't even know what sharps are. I don't even know what the other two are. The other one was the other two mentioned was what's crewels. I don't know what that is, or millinors. I mean, I had no idea. I didn't know what a between was until we had this discussion on our first live.
Yeah.
All I've ever seen is just, and I have a lot of just regular needles. And
yeah,
a lot of
Sherry said if you were doing big stitch quilting, you would use a bigger needle and a longer needle. Yeah, I just got some stuff from Primitive Gatherings, my subscription box, and it had a project in there for doing big stitch quilting, and they came with needles. And I'm not sure what kind of needles they are because the writing on the thing is so small I can't see it. See if I could put on double glasses. That might work. Oh, that helps. Mm-hmm.
Do any of you guys have any questions you want to ask while she's checking out these needles?
It just says big stitch quilting needles. It doesn't say what kind they are or anything like that.
Okay.
They're pretty fat.
Zaza says, I'm getting my needles all muddled up. I prefer a slightly longer needle to hand quilting. I use very short needles to FB or to EPP, sorry, but not to hand quilt. Okay, gotcha. I've never EPP'd, so I wouldn't even know what you use for those.
These are kind of thick, and they're 1 3/4 inch long. And they have a fairly good eye for threading.
I
This,
remember with, sorry,
oh, sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
This is probably about as short as I can go.
Hang on, let me spotlight so they can see. Okay, try again. Okay.
And they are pretty thick. They're like almost like a cross stitch needle with a point. Like maybe a 24 cross stitch needle.
So they
If
no
that-
longer call embroidery needles, Deb?
I don't know.
Because I remember that on an embroidery needle, it had a longer, not narrower, but the eye was long versus being wider. Or it did when I was learning, long time ago. Denise, the answer was betweens, which was D.
I think I got these from one of the sew sampler boxes, and they are called milliners, and they're gold plated, size 10, and they look like they're super fine and fairly long. I really don't know all the differences between needles, really. I'm not a needle person. I don't know all this stuff.
Uh-oh. One of these fell out of one of these packages, and I don't know what they fell out of. Maybe it was this one.
Let's see. Yeah, they're about 1.5 inches. I haven't opened them yet. I think they in the box, the sew sampler box, it said it would be good for binding when you're doing your hand binding.
Okay. There's so many needles. I mean, I have a bunch of needles, and most of these needles I have came in either a sew sampler box or some subscription box. It could have been any of those things, except for these singers. And
I know.
I have had these Singer needles for at least 30 years, and one pack has never even been opened. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I have I was just going to show you. This is my stash of needles.
Oh, you have a stash too. That's cool.
And some of these needles are from my mom's sewing box. Some of them are from Brandon's mom's sewing box. So some of them are pretty old.
Yeah, I have. I was. We were having a discussion the other day. Someone was talking about her needles. This is one of my mother's right here. I have very little of stuff from my mother, but when I was going through my portable sewing box, she used this one a lot. Can you see it? Probably not. Hang on.
Oh yeah, it's curved, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a small curved needle, and she used this quite often too. But she also had some big ones, really big ones, like 3 or 4 inches, about this big, the curved part.
Yeah.
And her and my dad used them for upholstery. But I forget what she used the smaller one for. But this is hers, and I've never used it. And when you put your finger on the tip of it, it's sharp. And I probably have some more of her stuff somewhere, more than likely. And then I have these really big needles. But I tend to use, one of these is really old actually, because it turned colors. But they have really big heads on them. And I think they might have used them as upholstery maybe, or leather. But I use them sometimes when I'll put yarn in them to weave pieces together. Now, this one that you see that's black, I would never stick that in my yarn. I don't know why it's that color. It must be some weird metal that's caused it to turn that color. It could be that the needle's really ancient. I don't know. You never know. Depends on how long my mother had it. And then I have things like this. I don't know what they're. This one actually says, this one says assorted needles.
Oh yeah, I have one of those too.
So I have like 3 of these, and I'm pretty sure these are all as old as the Singer ones.
Yeah.
And then I found, now these are not that old. I got these from either Fat Quarter Shop or somewhere. But I've only used like 1 needle out of the whole thing. This one's John Jones. Wait. John James Pebble. That's who this is by. I don't know if that name's familiar to anyone or not. Sherry, look what I found in my needle stash. That might help me thread that needle better.
Yeah. I have that.
Yeah, I think, and this probably came in a sew sampler box. And
Yeah,
I'm like, this might help my problem.
Yeah.
Because I tried to use, see, I have another threader. Where's my little box at? I tried to use this, and it shredded the thread.
Oh yeah.
So then when I was going through my stuff the other day, I found this, and I thought, well, let's try that one.
That one bends really easy. So
Yeah, I know, and you could buy them for yarn too. This type of threader to stick a yarn needle. The problem is those little thin wires, they come right out. If you pull on it too hard, poof, they're done.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this will last or not. We'll see. I like the big needle for tying baby quilts. Yeah. That is actually a good idea too. Doing, if you're going to do tying. Okay, let me see here. Denise says, last 2 days my wrists have been so sore and weak that I have to use can opener with a bottle cap opener to open a bottle of water. Never know what alternatives uses a thing might work to accomplish a task. Yep. When all else fails and I can't get a jar open no matter what I try, I go hunt my husband down. Like, please open this for me. The other day, I was making pasta sauce or red meat sauce that is.
Yeah.
And I had bought 2 tall bottles of tomato puree this from Italy. And he sees me do this all the time. When I open glass jars, I'll turn it upside down and top the bottom of it with my hand first before I try unscrewing the lid. And so he popped one of those jars, and I think he might have popped it harder than he thought. And when he turned it back upright, all the tomato sauce came rolling out the bottom of the bottle. He accidentally broke it.
Oh,
Or it
no.
might have already been cracked and we weren't aware of it. All right. What Teresa, tell them what I think we've been on for a long time. So
Yeah.
want to tell them one more time about tomorrow and your channel, and I'm going to share the link in the channel for you.
Okay.
And then I will say my piece, and then we're going to end this.
Oh, okay. I was just going to ask you how long you wanted to stay on.
Well, it looked to
I'm,
me like it's done.
yeah, my back is starting to, I'm getting squirmy.
Yep, I noticed.
But-
It's time to stop.
Yeah, so I'm Teresa Louise. I quilt too, and I have a channel, and I will be on tomorrow at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And I have, yeah, we'll work on something, some project, sewing. And thanks for having me on, Katie. I appreciate it.
Well, I enjoy having you on, and you can come on anytime you want. It's fine by me. Um, if you're not subscribed to Teresa's channel, there's the link in the channel. Please click on that and go over there and share some love with her. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., all you early risers get to watch me sit half asleep. I'll wake up, I promise. But anyway, over on Sean's tomorrow, we're going to be episode 2 of Star Climber. And as far as I know, we're just going to continue working on the courthouse stairs block. That's the plan. Because he's doing it the standard piecing way, and he still hasn't figured out the woven star as a piecing. So that's why we're just going to continue on with that block. And I'm doing the paper piecing part of it. So I'm just going to keep on making the blocks. I've already figured out, I think I've already got a plan on how I'm going to do the colors in it. So that's what I'll be working on. And then don't forget that on March the 5th, we will be doing a premiere with Sherry for my interview podcast with her. So don't forget about that. And then I'll fill you in on whatever else is going on. And Nikolaj will be here probably until at least Monday, I hope. So he'll be home Saturday, or he'll be here Saturday and Sunday because of the weather, but we're not sure about Monday or not. So if he leaves, that means if you don't see him, that means he left. So anyway, thank you everyone for watching tonight. Make sure to live, laugh, love, and dream. And what do you do with all that? You make something beautiful. And have a great night, and see you on the next live tomorrow morning. Good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Uh-oh, I set the barbell on top of my mouth.
Uh-oh.
And I can't move it. Hang on a minute. Oh, there we go. Now I can stop the live. All right. In stream. Okay.